people that are going to message, which I'm going to have on my phone. But there's already messages.
What was that?
Welcome to Tone Talk. What's up, everybody? This is Marc Uzansky and Dave Friedman. Tonight's special guest is Jakey Lee. Jake, how are you, man? Good to have you on the show.
You know, I'm hanging in there.
And Dave, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers, yes. I'm drinking water.
That's a rousing start.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We're a rousing start here.
Yes.
We're
Jake.
doing this on location from Las Vegas.
Yes, we are. That's actually true. Dave drove all the way over there to see Jake. Jake, you live in Vegas, right?
I live in Vegas. It's it
It's
suits
Vegas.
me well. Suits me well. 24/7. Anything I want to do at any time. Drinking, obviously. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but I smoke a little bit. And I can do that all over Vegas.
So do I.
And not have people wag their fingers at me. Say what?
I was going to say so do I.
So do you what?
Oh,
You
smoke
smoke?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
We're talking cigarettes, right? I'm not.
That's
Yes.
Well, or maybe other things.
I'm talking about the stuff that might be legal as well. So
Yeah. Heroin. I smoke a little heroin, but not a lot.
no, that's not true. In case my company's watching. But dude, we
Marc,
have.
do I have a link?
Oh, I haven't gotten that to you yet. So
Okay.
give me a second, and I'll get that for you.
For all the people in the chat, I don't see the chat yet. So
Yeah, so we'll get the chat going.
There's nobody there.
I want
there is.
to encourage people
yeah.
in the chat. If you've got questions for Jake, we have a super chat. The super chat will allow us to see your questions sooner. So if you make a donation to the channel, and we'll see your questions sooner, probably. So just wanted to mention that, but we'll get to it, and we'll keep going from there. So anyway, I'm going to send Dave the link. And Jake, how was your tour, man?
Tour was, well, I consider it a success. I mean, managed to not play Bark at the Moon for 6 weeks and not have anything thrown at me. So I consider it a success. But it was good. I mean, we played well. We played very well. And people seemed to really like it. And I'm just glad, because when I did announce that I wouldn't be playing Bark at the Moon anymore, man, did I get a lot of shit about that. but no, it worked out. And we don't do encores. We're a little weird, I guess. I won't play Bark at the Moon, even though I'm Jakey Lee and I was Ozzy Osbourne and I played that stupid song. Well, it's not a stupid song.
You wrote it.
You wrote it, exactly.
You didn't get credit for it.
And we don't do encores, which is another weird thing apparently. But encores are stupid. Come on, encores aren't even encores anymore. They're a reason for the band to go off stage, catch their breath, and then come back and do the one song that everybody's been waiting for them to play.
Which would be Bark in the Moon, and you're not doing
which would be, and I'm not doing it. So yeah, encores are dumb. This is how long our set is, and yeah.
I like that you chose though the B-side Ozzy song. I thought that was cool.
I think it's really cool.
and I think that it's like, well, I'm not doing it, but I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Which
not
is super
playing
cool.
not playing anything off Bark and Moon except the weirdest most
obscure thing that no one knows
thing
about, or almost no one knows about.
Yeah. No, we play it. A lot of people don't know what it is, which just proves to me they're not really huge Bark at the Moon fans if they don't even know what that song is. So
True.
Well, I think by doing what you did is forcing people to really like what's their new material and what it,
that's what we're doing.
And Patina's a fantastic record.
I think Patina is a really good record, and it deserves to be toured on, and we're doing the majority of the record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as far as Spiders, though, it's a song that never got played live.
Yeah.
And
Which is cool too.
And I just think it's really cool to do that finally, and it works really well live. It's got a cool swing to it, which is very un-Ozzy-like. But it was one of his cool songs, and the previous tour also we used to do Now you see it, now you don't,
Uh-huh.
which was never played
Yeah,
live.
yeah, right.
I mean, there's a lot of songs on Bark at the Moon that was never played live. In fact, the majority of it, which even, especially back then, usually supported your new record. But Ozzy was always a little bit, for someone who will bite the head off a bat, he's a little bit of a pussy. Oh, I'm going to get shit now. Right? But he's a little bit of a pussy.
What are they going to do?
As far as being adventurous, as far as the set.
Right.
He doesn't take any chances. He'll always open with one of half a dozen songs, and he'll always play Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
He'll always play Paranoid. He doesn't want to push it as far as that goes. And when Bark at the Moon came out, and I don't really blame him. He wasn't sure how people would react to it. First record without Randy, and so we only did like 3 songs, I think, off the record, and the majority of the set was first and second Ozzy album, and with as much Black Sabbath thrown in as there was off the new record. So, yeah, the fact that there's all these songs on Bark at the Moon that have never been played live, I think that's intriguing, and I think it's fun to do it live. There's some that I can't. People say Waiting for Darkness, which would be fun, but that had the orchestra in it, and I don't think that would translate live.
That would be cool, but if you could do it.
Yeah, you pay for the orchestra and I'll do it.
I'm not paying for the orchestra. There's a keyboard that could do the orchestra.
There's a keyboard that can do the orchestra. Oh,
there could be one guy with the keyboard.
You're such a cheater.
It would be cool with the orchestra, though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of all about the real thing instead of the sampled thing or something like that. So
yeah,
I like real amps.
I know.
This bullshit.
I like Kemper. I don't know why you said. Now I don't know why you're backtracking by saying you want a fake orchestra.
Just kidding.
Come on.
All right.
Adhere to your standards.
All right.
Yeah, see, I'm early in on that bottle, so I say,
That's
adhere
fine.
to your standards. You challenge me to do that in an hour.
So we've got.
Oh my God. We have chats.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people watching. Over 100 and almost 130 people watching right now.
There's one super chat here already.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go to that if you
All right.
Well,
You want to go to that, Dave?
yeah.
Go to what?
Hang on, let me read it first.
All right. See if it's nasty.
No, it's not nasty. No one's giving any nasty.
I got it. It says Jake absolutely loved the
You
album.
read it.
Right.
Can you explain other than watt is the differences between your Friedman amps when you use each and what you use prior? What amps did you use prior to that?
Oh,
Did
you send that
on
in?
the tour? No.
that was your chat
Look,
thing,
man.
right?
Look. It's right there. It's not me. You keep thinking I like grease these palms or something.
think you
It's just
do.
like, no, I
I
don't.
think you do. You look like that kind of guy. What would be your fancy haircut?
That just was. You just saw it grown out before. This is normal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do it a lot. Sometimes I shave it
A
all.
little bit punk, huh? Did you like punk?
I
When
like
punk was punk?
No, later.
Like
What?
when? Oh, don't tell me Green Day and all that kind of shit.
No, it's not real punk.
I know.
You got to go back to like Sex Pistols or go back to the Detroit stuff.
Detroit punk.
Remember? Yeah.
Who would you consider Detroit punk? Well, I mean, the Stooges were pretty much
Yeah. Stooges.
the guys that fucking invented it. Yeah.
I personally
MC5.
love a little.
I was going to say
punk
MC5,
in
right?
rock.
Yeah.
I like the punk attitude in rock.
Yes.
Like if you fuse rock with a punk attitude or some punk
Yeah.
elements,
Yeah.
I like it better.
Because when I moved to LA,
More
I was kind of half and half. I mean, I really liked punk and I really liked metal, and then when I moved to LA in like 1980, you had the Germs, you had Black Flag, you had Fear, you had all these really good LA punk bands.
Yeah.
And I was kind of torn between which one I wanted to pursue, since I came up as a unattached person. But
Unattached person.
as far as
So
I moved to
what you
LA and I
wanted-
wasn't in a band.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. What? Don't I talking about
No.
status as far as marital and stuff? No.
Just
And
wanted
I was torn between the two, but I could see where punk was having its heyday. I didn't see it getting bigger.
right.
It was having its heyday, and the whole metal scene in LA in 1980, it was burgeoning. There's
Yeah.
another word I want people to say in an hour. And it was, you could see something was happening. Something was going on. The Hollywood Strip was more and more people every weekend for these bands. And so I picked sides then. But I always had this punk side to me. And actually, when I
think
joined
that
Ozzy,
shows.
I wanted to have a blue mohawk. After I joined Ozzy. Because I always wanted blue mohawk. And I said, fuck yeah. Ozzy Osbourne, he just shaved his fucking hair off. I can have a blue mohawk. And I told it to Sharon. She said, nope, absolutely not. Why not?
Of course.
This is Ozzy Osbourne. Why can't I have a blue mohawk? She says, nope. And this will help bolster George's view of how I got the gig. She said, no, your look was part of the reason you got the gig. Don't go ruining it now. I was like,
Okay.
So she put the kibosh on that.
I'll take the gig, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
guess
at that
I guess
point
that
I wasn't paying that much. I was getting like $200 a week for the first month that I was in the band. Not that I cared. I wasn't doing it for the money.
Right.
But
Right, because you're now
but
on
in
these huge
retrospect,
stages.
I mean, just how cheap are you?
Right. We get into the story about how the end of it later, which I've already heard.
Yeah, well, we heard that.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
back to this chat thing.
Well, yeah, let's answer that question about the amps. So,
Oh shit, yeah, amps. Oh yeah, let's go back to amps.
The differences between the Friedman amps. Okay, well
The
that
difference, well, I don't know how.
well, one's 100.
Oh, the two Friedmans that I have.
Yeah, 100 louder.
Yes, one's louder. No, and the 50. Which version of the 50 was
The
it?
small box is the 50,
Small box. Okay.
right?
Because when I saw George the other night, he was asking. He said, "Was it the Dirty Shirley?" And I said,
You know, the reason he
I don't think
revamped
so.
his 100 watt was probably because he heard you were playing 100 watt. I'm not joking.
Jorge, George, copy something I did? No way.
Actually, he's been vacillating. He's been using like 50s, a bunch of 50s and Parks and some stuff. George
He was
Lynch.
using the park the other night at band.
Did he use the Park or did he use the 100
Oh, he
watt?
was using the park.
he switches
Okay,
back and
'cause they-
forth. Yeah.
So he has a 50 watt plexi, a Park, and a 100 watt plexi that are all great amps.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Just-
into amps. Yeah.
It's just the funny thing. This is the longest I've ever seen him stick on one thing, and I keep telling him, I go, "Do you realize that you come back to what you used to use like a million years ago? You kept vacillating in all different directions, but you still like a 4-input Marshall cranked, similar to what you like.
Yeah. Well,
It's the same classic
hard to beat that
thing. Yeah, that's
If you're
where it
going
all
for
comes
that
from,
sound,
doesn't it?
It's really hard to beat a Marshall.
I mean, that's where it comes from to me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for different things, you got the Fender Twin, you got the Super Reverb, you got other amps. But
Supros
if you're
and all
looking
sorts of
for
fun.
that sound, it's really hard to beat the
Yeah.
old Marshall.
So to answer this question,
Oh,
the difference between the amps is, well, 100
nobody's
is just
even going to ask.
100 is just more.
Yeah, actually, the 50 watt is pretty much.
You like that too, though.
I love the 50 watt.
Yeah.
When I first tried it at rehearsal, because if you and Mike Tempesta kept saying, "Here, try a Friedman, try a Friedman, try a Friedman," I go, I'm kind of lazy to begin with, but I was using. I probably should actually say it, but anybody can find out what it was. I was using these other ones that worked fine. I mean, yeah, they worked fine. Whatever. I'm never gonna get like the magic sound, so these will work. And then the very last night of rehearsal out in PA, you shipped, what is it, small box?
Yeah.
Small box 50. And went,
Because I heard about it very last minute. And then the FedEx fucked up too.
yeah, oh yeah, I was supposed to get it early.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, whatever. Okay, let's plug it in. Let's see what the big deal is. And as soon as I plugged it in, and I know this sounds like a commercial, but I would never say anything that I didn't fully fucking stand behind. As soon as I plugged it in, I went, oh fuck, oh shit, all right, it's got everything that I've been missing. I said, okay, my bad, and kudos to you for that.
So it's
but the other one's just 100 watt, really.
and it's a small 100 watt small box.
I basically built a 100 watt small box, but then I changed the second channel on it, which is still in play a little bit.
Yeah, we're working on that second channel. The second channel
there's a different one in the Japan one.
Because I'm
so try that.
To that. Yeah, the second channel on the small box was the brown sound, I guess.
Well, I mean, really, it was designed more not to run on 10. So you run these amps on 10.
Yeah,
so
that's why 10's there.
So for the amount of gain it has, it's just too much. It's too much because you're already getting all the gain from having it be on 10. So that needs to be backed off and tweaked a little bit to make it right.
Because it squashes it a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's too much. Too much for your... Well, normally, if you played it at low volume, you'd be like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But but you're cranking it, so you're getting all this extra gain on top of it, and then you're turning this gain way back, and it's just neutering it.
And you lose some bottom end.
Yeah.
You lose a little bit of top end, too. It's like this mid-range crunch.
The one that you're going to have in Japan has what we talked about. It still has a 3-position gain switch on that. You want to use the lowest setting, just like you did, but it's a different circuit.
All right.
The other channel, same. It's what you're used to.
Yeah.
Assuming it sounds the same in Japan.
Always put it on low gain.
And there also is a small box there.
Oh.
So you have your choices and 2 cabinets with greenbacks.
25 watt.
Yep.
Okay.
Standard greenback.
Oh. I feel like
we're going off in space here.
Oh well, hey, but, I mean, this is the stuff we talk about on this show. We get real geeky, so.
But it is the brown sound basically is what you're going for. Come on, admit it.
Yep.
You called your first amp a brown eye or something, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but the brown sound is a cranked Marshall Plexi on 10 with a variac.
With a variac.
And like 6 CA7s.
Because wasn't Eddie originally using the 220?
Yeah, something like that.
He was using the 220 input for his amp.
Yeah.
And then using the variac to crank it down to, what was it? To 140. Which would, I guess the equivalent would be like putting it on 70
raise
and 110.
a little bit. So yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good bit of trivia that not a lot of people know.
Yeah. Well, because I remember
you were around there.
He said he would put 140 volts into it.
Yeah.
And
but the amp was set on 220.
Yeah. He never said that.
He never said that.
He never said that.
This is a secret.
And I knew better than to do that. But apparently a lot of people
turned it up to 140 and blew up the amps. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to take that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So bad on Eddie.
Yeah.
But he wanted to keep the sound a secret. Everybody was trying to get that sound back then.
Yes.
You know, even I was a little.
But even when you listen to even old recordings and stuff, it sounds like a super lead on 10. It does.
It's got that extra thing in there. But once you do the variac thing, you understand it completely. Oh.
Well, the other thing about
because it doesn't involve the speakers as much.
Well, the other thing.
But he used 20 watts.
Well, he used various speakers back then. He used there's a bunch of different amps he used on tour too. So.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the 6 CA7s are biased, so it works with the 90 volts on the variac. So, in other words, you set the amp to 90 volts and then bias the amp to the proper voltage, which gives you like this compression and sustain that just the stock super lead with just normal bias doesn't quite give you.
Yeah.
It hops it up a little bit. It's more compression.
It almost gives you the sound of way back in the day. You turn your amp off and you hit a chord and like, oh shit, why doesn't it sound like that?
Yeah, right.
Why does
exactly.
Exactly. Kind of does that.
It totally is like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Those days.
Yeah. Hey, we got a super chat question. Which
I'm gonna run to the restroom. Hold on a second.
You're gonna run to the restroom. I'll take this.
Okay.
I'll take it.
So Jake, let's see. There was a question about SpectraFlex ads.
Oh shit.
Jake, tell us about the old legendary SpectraFlex ads. Was all that gear yours, and do you still have all or some of it? And that was from Dan Pfeiffer.
Oh, the Spectra. That was an awesome ad. And what? Anyway, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I see Tempest's name on there. That wasn't Tempest ads.
No.
Anyway, the SpectraFlex ad. Yeah, that was, it I don't know if it's legendary, but it kind of should be. Because, all those pedals were mine. I remember I was collecting pedals at the time, and this is when you could still buy them for reasonable prices. But all those pedals were mine. I was trying to get up to 100, and then SpectraFlex wanted me to do a cable ad. I said, all right, why don't we plug all my pedals in? You make sure there was 80-something pedals altogether. And I said, you just make sure I got enough cables. So they sent me a shitload of cables. And I should have thought about it before. That was a pain in the ass. Because I wanted the in to go to the out go to the in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it just to be a bunch of cables in it. I wanted it to actually make sense. And it took like maybe an hour and a half to fucking plug all those things in. and then I realized, oh, fuck. How long is this photo shoot? This is going to drain all the batteries. And so I went back in there. I'm taking batteries out and shit. So it was a hard-earned ad. And, all those pedals were mine. I have a couple left. I don't have all of them because at that point I was rabid. I wanted to have like every pedal in the world. I kept the ones that I really liked. Not all of them. You always do that. You sell a pedal. I don't want that. And then like a year later, crap. Why did I sell that pedal? And there's a couple of those. The Univibe I had was a really good Univibe because they're kind of like Marshalls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the preamp and all that shit set up, but Univibes sound different. Mine was a really good one, and I got rid of it because it was noisy. Which Univibes are. What?
Was it a real one or full tone?
Well, it's a real one.
Okay.
I've never used full tone in my life.
Oh, that's good.
Not a big fan of that guy.
Ooh. He's
dead.
He's such a
Oh shit! Now he took. Yeah, like full tone is
He's
the
a nice human
Ingve
being, right?
pedals.
It's the Ingve pedals.
And I have and
live on Blabbermouth.
and to back me up, there's 1,000 people who will tell you that about him.
I've heard.
Because I've known people in stores that had to deal with him, and his pedals are good.
Yeah.
Just like Ingve can play guitar. Doesn't mean you have to be a fucking asshole. Anyway, no, I've never used a full tone pedal, and I think it was in Vintage Guitar or Premier Guitar where they said that I used a full tone octave thing. I don't know where the fuck they got that from because I didn't. I used a Prescription Electronics experience pedal. Yeah. I do use full tone pedal.
I don't blame.
What was the question?
I don't. You know what? I
I don't know anymore. We're going.
That was a SpectraFlex ad.
I obviously I don't have most of those pedals anymore. I kept a couple. I kept the shit. What is it? Shit. Yeah, I kept some of them.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think we answered this question for Cheddar Kung Pao, Dave, but it was the Jake signature amp is based on the small box, right? Yes. What's tweaked on it besides the awesome red Tolex?
Different second channel, which is yet to be.
Yeah,
finalized.
we're still working on the second channel.
This is not a final done yet, but we're still working on it.
So, okay. I actually
and it's got my awesome kanji symbol. So.
Yeah, that's
which is
super
worth it
cool.
right away.
Right there. It's worth the price of admission. I want to talk about what led you to start the Red Dragon Cartel band, and how did you get that all going? And because I know there was a period of time where you weren't performing and you weren't out there. with a band. So what led to you starting the band and going from there with Red Dragon Cartel?
Basically, Kevin Churko. Kevin Churko, he lives in Las Vegas. I live in Las Vegas. Somehow he found out that I lived in Las Vegas, and he tracked me down. And at first he wanted to know, because he was producing Ozzy at the time. I think he had just done Black Rain, maybe. Is that an Ozzy album?
I lost track after you.
Yeah.
I'm actually,
Me too.
I'm actually not really joking.
I quit listening to Ozzy after I wasn't in the band anymore. That's not true. Zach's great. But he tracked me down to see what it would take for me to do something with Ozzy again, because his albums by that time they weren't like organic Ozzy
Killing you?
albums. Well, it wasn't really Ozzy. It was the Ozzy brand.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Zach wasn't contributing. I mean, from what I understand, he was contributing, but Ozzy just had Kevin really write the songs and put them together and get bits and pieces and come up with an album, and then
that's not
tell
a real album.
Ozzy what to sing. And Kevin Churko, being a fan, wanted to know what it would take for me to get back into Ozzy, and which I still don't think is a bad idea. I mean, I love Ozzy. You know, I've always loved
that's
Ozzy.
a great idea.
You know, Black Sabbath. When Black Sabbath came out, I remember I was 12 years old, scared the shit out of me. I couldn't get enough of it. You know, I love Ozzy. And he just wanted to know what it would take, and I told him credit for barking the moon. And I don't see.
That's
now I'm
not
going to
too
get
much
all these
step,
people
but
and
that's
say,
not
"Why
too
does he
much-
keep harping on it?"
But
I'm just
that's
saying.
not too much to ask.
It's
I mean,
a
from-
song. It's a song you wrote.
You know what? I've listened to you on other podcasts and things where you're like, I just want credit. I'm not looking for money. I just want the credit.
I'll sign a piece of paper that says I never make a nickel off of Bart.
You just want the credit for writing.
Want my name on there. It's
Because it's quite obvious that you wrote it.
Yes. But 100 years.
I
from
mean,
now,
well, yeah, but it's quite obvious
Of course,
that you
100
wrote
years
it
from
because
now,
it's very stylistically you.
Right.
yeah. And I brought. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't see how that is such a big deal. I really don't. Maybe I don't understand the logistics. I don't understand the
maybe
legal.
if they give you credit, then they have to pay you.
have
And
to.
then I'm not exactly sure.
I don't
how
know,
that
but
works.
I'm sure there's also legal ways of getting around that. Just saying I'm signing off on everything.
Sure, but you know,
But
there's
that's all I want.
Sharon,
That's
and she's
all I
taking
want.
that stuff away from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what
It's sad.
what were your thoughts on them re-recording the first two albums with other musicians?
What were my thoughts? Same as anybody with half a heart. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It
That was
awful.
rotten.
And the reason for it was just to be
Even worse.
mean.
Right.
Just to be mean, and ruining, in my opinion, pieces of art. You know, why not get? Not that I'm a big fan of the Mona Lisa, because pop star, never stop, never stop. No, have you seen that? Anyway, Mona Lisa is not an attractive bitch, but you don't fucking remix her. You don't remaster it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
a piece
repaint it.
of art. It's a piece of art. And the first two Ozzy albums were fucking pieces of art. And you don't fuck with them. You don't. No, I don't know if I'll say outraged because it didn't surprise me, but let's say
It
deeply
didn't surprise you.
disappointed.
Boy, that
No,
says a lot right there, right? In itself, that what you just said was
it's like on the
didn't
same.
surprise me.
It's actually worse than what I saw. Remember when Van Halen took Mike out of the picture of the first album and put in Wolfie? You ever see that?
What?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Van Halen actually, for a very short period of time, released a picture of their first album but
Yeah.
removed Mike
With
from
Wolfgang
the picture and
shoved
put
in the
Wolfgang
picture.
on the front of the album.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, and then they pulled it, and then it was done. Then it was gone.
Well, yeah, because it was
Yeah, better
very,
'cause it was
very
very
fucking
bad.
wrong.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm surprised about that. Really.
yeah, that was.
I've met Eddie, and I like Eddie, and he doesn't seem like the Sharon Osbourne of guitar players.
No.
Whoa! I keep coming up with all this controversial shit, yo.
You're good at it. Started with that Ingve post,
I actually just listened to that.
which I commended you on.
So let's.
A lot of people have, but
So tell
And
me
I'm sure
more
there's
about
a few that hate you for that.
the Red Dragon Cartel. So as they approached you
Oh.
about Ozzy to do that, and
oh, yeah, and then nothing happened. He said, "Well, what would it take for you to do any kind of music?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't think." And honestly, I said, I don't think anybody really cares what I have to do anymore.
Well,
And Kevin said, "Look, I have a studio. Come in, record a couple things, record some stuff. Let's work on a couple of things, and then see if you feel
Feel
interested." Yeah. I said, "All right, yeah, no commitment.
Mhm.
I'm all about no commitment." Whoops. I forgot. She just walked back in. Where was I? Oh,
Commitment.
And I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot," because the whole period where I wasn't doing anything, I was still doing stuff for me. You have this whole computer software. You had this whole new way of doing shit.
Mhm.
I was doing that. I was still writing songs, making music with myself. I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a try, see what's going on." And I think the first song we finished was Feeder. And then Kevin asked me, "Who do you hear singing?" I said, "Well, shit, I don't know, maybe God damn it. See how old I am? I can't think of his name right off. Robin Zander." I said, "I hear Robin Zander singing this." And then hooked it up. Robin Zander sang it. I wasn't in the studio for that. And then he played it back for me. He said, "Okay, here's Peter with Robin Zander on it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah. Okay, let's do this shit." Because
That was great.
Because I got excited.
Well, yeah, sure.
And it'd been a long time since I got excited about anything
Music.
I wrote.
Mhm. Yeah.
Music. It's easy to get excited about, but anything that I wrote,
Yeah.
because all my shit for like 10 years was just me writing for me, and yeah, it was pretty good. And then moving on,
Right.
not getting any kind of feedback. But with that was the point where I heard Robin Zander sing Fear. I said, "Fuck yeah, I'm in. Let's do this shit."
Mm.
And then we did the rest of the album. That answer the question? The
Yeah.
second question
Yeah.
so far.
Well, the thing is, the thing is I think in this day and age too, you can record an album a lot easier than it used to be.
You can.
It's a lot easier.
It can be. Patina wasn't like that.
How was Patina recorded?
You worked hard
Old
on that.
school.
Old school.
Very old.
Was it on tape?
Okay.
It's not
It
that,
wasn't
that
that.
old.
Okay.
Can you even buy tape?
I don't know.
Yes,
I'm sure you
but
can.
it's going to cost you
At
a
a
fucking
premium.
fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll be tape that's only been recorded on 24 times. Yeah.
Right.
But everything else about it was old school. And I mean, it took us, I think, a year and a half. Not necessarily all recording, but like 6 months of writing, because I wasn't going to record anything until there was a fucking song there.
Yeah.
And it was done very old school, and it took every penny of our budget.
Yeah, sure.
And constant badgering from the record company, which I'm not afraid to say. Come on, Frontiers. I was a little bit afraid there. But what do they have over
Came out
there?
great.
All they have is money. I said, it'll be done when it's done. And I understand they hate that answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
looking for
They're a business.
No.
They want something that they can sell and then be done with it and
move on.
And they want something
what
new
do they have?
they can sell.
Fucking 1,000 acts on their fucking label. Yeah. They just want constant product, sell, product, sell, product, sell. And I think I threw a wrench in their whole thing where it's like, I don't give a fuck about product. I don't give a fuck about money. It's all about the music, and it'll be done when it's done. And so it was very.
That shows.
What?
That shows.
I think it does. I think it's a fantastic.
I think
it is a great record.
Top to bottom, every song is great. There's not like these songs that are just filler songs that are just bullshit.
No.
And every song has a cool thing about it, and that doesn't happen a lot.
No.
And it's not what someone might expect out of you either, which I also love.
How's that?
Well, it's not. You're not rehashing a dated material. Like rehashing what you did in the '80s and this and that. It
was
not
fresh.
That.
It was new and fresh.
It's fresh, and because it wasn't 80s centric, what someone might expect.
Yeah.
It made it. This is a great rock band, as opposed to this is a
Jake E. Lee record.
Oh, this is a Jake is the '80s, band rehashed,
Jake E. Legacy. Legacy Act, which I'm
going back to sort of the early influences. It seems to me that you did. Obviously, I mean, there's Hendrix. There's all sorts of 70s based rock music influences. Going back to that made it sort of fresh because for some reason going back to the 70s doesn't make it like dated. it's a weird thing.
Okay.
No, it's a weird thing. It's come on, like rock music today is generally pretty much shit.
It's sampling from a source that's untapped.
It's sampling from a lot of eras, and then spitting it out to this new product. And I think because of that, it makes it a fresh sounding record. Now, the guys that are wanting shredding 80s guitar are not going to be happy about it. But you know what? Too bad. It's just like, come on. It's just like, it's much more enjoyable to listen to than any of that stuff.
I think.
And
and that's the only reason I do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it so people will say, "Yay, Jake." I'm doing it
because you love what you do. The music.
I'm a musician.
You want to make the music.
Just a musician at heart. And if that pisses people off because I don't stick to any one agenda, well then fuck you. I don't give a shit. And I've said this before, and I've gotten a lot of shit about it. I really, really don't care what anybody thinks about my playing or my music. I'm not doing it for them. I never have. It's for me. And I'll put it out there. And if you like it, great. If you don't, I don't give a fuck. And maybe I need to word it better because it pisses a lot of people off. I'm just saying I don't do it for monetary reasons.
You're doing it
to stay in the spotlight, which a lot of 80s bands,
they just rehashing.
They just want to stay in the spotlight. They want to look at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. In fact, I kind of.
But I don't want it.
I avoid that.
I don't want to go see that.
It's all about the music. I am.
It's art.
And whatever you say about me, it is truly all about the music and staying true to that, and that's all I give a shit about. And if it makes me happy, if I think it's good, then it fucking is,
Well, that's
as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's truly, what it should be.
It is what it should be. I mean, I look at people like Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Miles Davis, what, should he have stayed as a bebop trumpet player because that's where he got famous? No, he was constantly evolving. Because of him, you got the whole West Coast cool jazz thing with Kind of Blue. And then because of him, probably fusion happened. You know, because he recognized, oh, rock's got some good shit going on here. And you get John McLaughlin in there, and he was a musician. He didn't do it for anybody except himself. And it sounds stingy now that I just said it like that. But no, I think a true artist, and I'm not trying to say I'm a true artist. I'm saying I'm
true to yourself.
My ambition, you know, what I strive to be is a true artist and a musician. And nobody should be condemned for that.
No.
You know, it's a good ambition.
Exactly.
Rather than for the money or the popularity.
Yeah. Agreed.
And you created an amazing album, and I hope to see another one that is equally as amazing. You know.
I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me.
So
come on.
I didn't know if I had this one in me. You know, after the last tour.
Yeah, but
obviously I still love Frontiers, a couple records and stuff, and I said I don't know. Anthony Esposito actually he pulled it out of me. He said, let's do another record. I said, I don't know. I don't know if I have it. And then he said, well, okay, let's go to the ranch. He has a studio in PA. Let's go to the ranch, bring everybody in, spend a week doing whatever you want to do. I said, all right, I'll do that.
Sure.
And stuff came out. And a lot of it, too, is because, like I said, for the first record, RDC record, and the 10 years prior, I've been making music with myself. You know, it's all on the computer, and I'll come up with the drum part, and I'll play bass, and to the opportunity to write with a band right there was intriguing. And then when we tried it, and it started working right away. I'm like, oh my God, it's like I'm back in the 70s or 80s.
That's great.
And it was fun.
Do
I have another one in me? I don't know.
No, but I think maybe put in the same situation again,
Maybe.
You probably do.
Maybe. I'm getting old, Joe.
Yeah, but that doesn't squelch your creativity.
Yeah, we'll see.
Spilling.
Oh, man, did you spill some of this?
No, that was horrible, right?
The Balvenie.
I spilled some Balvenie.
Oh no.
Which is
Caribbean
sad.
cask.
Oh, that's.
I don't know. You might be cut off. I don't know.
No.
How about some water and stuff?
No, it's not.
I know you bought it.
No,
I guess you should.
So we've got an interesting question here from Dejo.
Yeah, give me an interesting.
Dejo Blue says, Jake, did you help Warren DeMartini write the Lay It Down riff? It is so Jakey Lee stretchy.
You know what? I wasn't there when he wrote it, but and I don't want to. He did say that the one stretchy part. He said it was. I showed him that chord because we used to, we would play together a lot, and I'd been playing longer, so I would show him. Have you ever thought about playing a chord this way, or like this, and inverting this? Because I'm really into chords. If you listen to my shit, more than my lead playing, my solo playing, which I don't think sucks, but more than that, my chordal, what's the word I'm looking for?
Choices?
Yeah, it's an easy word. I was gonna say ingenuity.
Okay.
But okay, choices.
Your rhythm playing.
My rhythm.
Your rhythm playing is like the shining star.
Yeah, it's tops.
I mean,
and
your lead
really
playing was great. You did all this Ozzy stuff.
I think I was a great lead player,
but
really,
your rhythm playing, and it even shows more with the new material.
Yeah,
the rhythm playing is just badass.
I go over everything. Once I know what
and
chords
the
they are,
way you
I'll
do it.
find out the right position,
Yeah.
the right intervals, whether I have an open. I belabor over that. And to me, it's such an integral part of guitar playing. Most of what you play is rhythms, and to me, that's the most interesting part. You know, I have this chord, it's going to this chord. I got all this in between. What can I do? And yeah, I will say that my rhythm playing is what sets me apart.
So I have a guy that works for me who is an amazing guitar player. He played with, for a while he was playing with Dweezil Zappa, and Zappa does Zappa.
Oh,
like crazy, like massive, crazy stuff. And he said after listening to your record, he goes, there's so much stuff in there, like in the rhythm playing and the chord choices and everything. And he's like the guitar player, like crazy guitar player that never has had any, success. He's played, and he's like incredibly amazing, crazy technical guitar player. Playing any of that Zappa stuff alone.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
But he goes, no, it's all about the rhythm stuff he does. It's just like all about the chords and all about the things and the choices that he makes. And when I hear that from him, who is this quite schooled guy, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. No, it's good. That's another guy from San Diego,
I feel
by the way.
very underappreciated as far as that goes.
I don't think you should.
Because everybody looks at guitar players to be a solo guy.
Yeah, but I don't think you should, because there's a lot of love for you. A crazy amount. After just getting involved with this amp thing that we're starting to do,
there's a lot of interest.
There's a lot of interest and a lot of love. And it's like you can almost do no more wrong kind of love. And
I can do wrong.
You can do wrong, probably. You can be a bad boy, probably.
I could have played Nicky Six in the dirt.
But you know what? That would have been wrong. Yes.
Oh, we have to get to that story, by the way. We have to get to that.
Yeah, we're heading that way.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting there.
I think maybe. But there's more love than you think. And
nice.
And
to match.
And here's why. I'm going to go into this. So, for me growing up, so I'm, I don't know how old you are, 12 years younger than you or something.
Okay.
I think 62, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 12 years younger than you. So for me growing up was when you were in Ozzy.
Yeah, you would have been the prime.
So a prime candidate, right?
Yeah.
So, but in that time frame, you obviously had, in the 80s time frame, you had Eddie Van Halen, obviously. The kingpin of kingpins for that.
Guy changed everything.
Changed everything for everyone. Everyone went, oh shit, now we got to play like that. That's what the comment from most people was.
Yeah.
But of that era, there was Eddie Van Halen, there was like George Lynch, there was yourself, there was Warren.
Yeah.
Maybe Vivian Campbell. I'm coming up with like 5 like major players of that era, and you were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you were one of these guitar gods of that. But you were one of.
You're right. Yeah.
You were one of the guitar gods of that era, and you were widely accepted as Ozzy guitar player pretty quickly. And I mean, there was some other guys, of course, that were quite good.
Yeah, Brad Gillis,
Brad Beaches, and the Brad Gillises, and this stuff. But those 5 of that era were the most,
and that was
iconic,
the most iconic
Guitar Hero 1980s
80s guitar hero,
and I'm in that top 5.
Yeah, in top 5.
Do you know how many times I've watched the US Festival and you playing with Ozzy at the US Festival? I mean,
that was a good performance.
Yeah, I mean,
I do not.
I've watched it a million times, a gazillion times. And well, speaking of that, we actually, Dave, you were leading somewhere. I don't want to cut you off.
No. I just wanted to tell you that that's how people look at you. And this is a star that doesn't go away. Mm-hmm. You know, and
well, see, but I'm feeling like that's how people look at me and don't know why I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, but
there's that whole thing.
But I think you, of most of that era, have moved past it.
Where others have.
And have now put out a record that is really showing where you are now. And you're going, fuck you, I'm not playing Bark at the Moon. And I think that is super great. Because it's so hard for a lot of people to break out of that stereotypical. It's like all the bands that are touring that are still like, you know, the Faster Pussycats or whoever.
Poison.
You know, like Poison, this and that. It's really just a novelty act. Where you're touring a fresh record that has nothing to do with that era. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And that might be harder.
It is harder.
And could you go out and be the novelty act? Yes, you could. Could you make more money? Maybe. But
definitely could make more money.
But
could I? No. Because it would be.
But it's not. It's
like I said,
you got to move
music
on.
Is my soul.
You got to move on. You have to move on from where you
and that does amaze me. I mean, I've seen, you know, there are obviously trolls online, but I've seen critiques of my playing and my solos on patina and shit like that. And they said, "Whoa, he was an '80s guitar hero. What the fuck is this shit?" Well, this is what happens 35 years later. If you don't lock in. When I joined Ozzy, I'd been playing guitar for 13 years. Mm. That is supposed to be the epitome of everything I can ever do on guitar. 13 years, I stick to that. That's all I ever will be. Fuck that. No. There's a whole galaxy of fucking music to explore and delve into. And that's what I want to do. I'm not going to fucking, this works. I'll stick with that.
No, it's dated.
That's just being a pussy.
It's dated. It's dated.
You know, and yeah, guess what? Guess what else? I'm not wearing a red leather vest and red jeans with white go-go boots.
There's no spandex. There's no leather.
I don't. If you come to see me, I'm not going to look like that anymore. Mm-hmm. It was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to develop and mature and explore new realms. You know,
of course you are.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
But the people that are saying, "No, I miss Jake from when he was," you know, fucking watch me when I was back in the '80s. Then,
yeah,
you know, did it, been there. I'm looking for new.
So I'll bring this up. It's sort of like
I got a little controversy.
No,
confrontation. It's his fault. It's this shit.
No. I know you went and saw George the other night.
Jorge, yes.
And the interesting thing about George is he's always doing albums that are polar opposite or out of his wheelhouse completely from where, you know, he was known to be.
Yeah.
And I respect the fact that he always goes out and goes, you know what, I'm going to do this Infidels record with this Latin bass player and this and make this, who knows what it is. It makes a new sound or a new thing. Or KXM with Doug Pinnick and Ray Lazur. KXM's amazing, a band. They were great. Unfortunately, they can't tour because Ray Lazur is tied up with Korn all the time. So.
Ray.
Yeah, Ray Lazur. Yeah, you know Ray?
Wicked Alliance with me in '94 or something. I gave him his break, yo.
Speaking of that, I saw the other podcast that you were with Dio for a minute. Yeah, or rehearsing with him for a minute.
Yeah, for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks. I was the he had just quit Sabbath and Yeah. It's a weird story. I don't know. But
Well, you told the story, but
his wife was managing Rough Cutt.
Yeah.
And
Amir.
What?
Amir, the guitar player from Rough Cut.
You replaced me though.
Oh yeah, you were in Rough Cut, weren't you?
I was in
I
Rough
can't.
Cut
You know
when
what?
there was only one
We need to
guitar
go back.
player.
We need to go back.
Oh shit.
We need to go back a little bit and like go like run down a quick rundown of the career, because there's some stuff I kind of forget. How many bands you were in?
Like how I auditioned for what's his
Well,
name?
so it goes back.
Violin player from the Flock in audition. Jerry.
Oh, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
No.
No.
God,
No.
Mahavishnu.
Sorry.
I'm talking real music.
Real music. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Jerry.
Jake says Trans-Siberian Orchestra is bullshit.
I really haven't heard much shit about it.
Oh.
It sounds like a very profitable thing.
Endeavor, yes.
Yes.
I think it is, but
That's all I gotta say.
so let's.
What was the question?
Let's go back.
Let's go back.
Come on. Let's go back here for a second. And what was the first band that really mattered? Or how did you start? Like, where did this all start? You were in San Diego, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Imperial Beach,
Mm-hmm.
which was a scumbag. It was the scumbag of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing piano when I was 6. I don't know how that happened. I asked my mom. They bought a piano. Now I'm committed. Because I'm pretty sure, like, after a couple of weeks, I said, yeah, I don't want to play piano anymore. I said, nope, bitch. We bought a piano.
You gotta play, goddamn.
So
Can you still play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started playing piano, and music was always the thing. I always knew that from very, very young age. I knew that music was what I was going to do. And let's get past that to where I turned 12 and I heard Jimi Hendrix for the first time.
Right.
Because I've been playing piano. And then I heard Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. I remember the exact moment. Walking down the hall of our house, my sister, who was into rock music, which I thought was stupid because I played classical piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the opening to Purple Haze, and I stood in her doorway and went, "Oh my God, who was that?" It's Jimi Hendrix. God, get a clue, right? Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, "Fuck, that's what I'm doing." That's when I started playing guitar. That's when everything changed for me. But this would be 1969. It wasn't like it is now or even in the 80s or anything. I said, I'm going to start playing guitar. I didn't know anybody else who played guitar.
Right.
Let alone rock guitar. So I bought like the Mel Bay method, right? Which teaches you how to play keyboard and all that stuff. I bought that, but I would listen to radio and try to figure out stuff on there because I already had like 6 years of piano. So I knew my theory. I knew the basics. And I was trying to apply it to guitar. Trying to make this shorter.
Fine. You got all the time in the world.
Getting into junior high, I didn't know anybody else who played guitar. Mm-hmm. I played guitar. And then the friends that I had would be like, what, you going to be a big rock star? And I'm like, I just like playing guitar. Mm-hmm. And they were, yeah, well, you're not going to be the next, at that point it would have been Jimmy Page,
right?
Or something. I'm like, I'm not trying to be, I just like playing guitar. So all through junior high, never met another guy that played guitar. So I'm still trying to figure out shit. Get into high school, I meet like 1 or 2 guys that also play guitar.
Yeah.
And then we get together, I'm like, holy shit, this is so fun. How do you play this song? And we all played it different.
Uh-huh.
Which I think was a very key element to back then versus now. And I don't want to sound like the old man. Or these guitar playing kids. I don't want to be like that. But I think one of the big things back then was you would try. You didn't have YouTube. You didn't have fucking the internet.
Yeah. You
didn't have magazine. Back then, I subscribed to Guitar Player magazine, but they didn't cater to rock. It was all about Julian Bream and Chet Atkins, which awesome players. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't about rock, and you had to figure your shit out, and we all figured it out different, you know. Yeah, you probably don't have a guitar here. Like for Chuck Berry shit, you know, that Bad Apple, Johnny Be Good. I figured it out all on, if you say it's an A, I figured it all out on from the 5th to 3rd fret. That pattern. It was totally wrong. Totally wrong. I had it all figured out wrong, but I could play it that way, which made it unique.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit what's missing these days. It's
too precise.
It's
too exact.
You can go on YouTube and find out what that guy thinks the right way to play the song is, and then you have 5,000 guitar players. Oh, well, that's the way to play it.
Yeah.
Now you have 5,000 clones.
And maybe that guy was wrong.
More than likely, he was wrong.
Unless they're
I know. According to my shit,
from
what I see that people say how to play my shit, it's mostly wrong.
There's only a few guys that really put in the time, really, really intensely to try to get it right.
And I admire, you know.
There's one guy that did Bark at the Moon that I know. This guy named Ben Eller.
Yeah.
And Ben Eller really put his time in to try to do it properly. And it was the whole thing was like, here's how to do it properly.
Well, I think he watched videos of Jake.
And it is very, very complex.
Yeah, well, you had that. You did some sort of.
It's not normal.
You did some. No, not at all. In fact, it's. In fact, some people can't play it like you play it because they just can't stretch the same way.
And the funny thing is, there is no. The way I play it, there is no bam bam.
Yeah.
It starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, bam 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 bam. That is the guitar part. Keyboards added the ba ba just before it, and now everybody thinks that's the way to play it. Which even last time I played it, I have to. All right. 1, 2,
you have to mimic the keyboard part because you have to because it's not there.
It isn't actually a part of the guitar,
right?
You know, which
that's
interesting or not, I don't know.
Speaking of that, I saw a couple clinics that you had done in regards to that.
Oh shit!
No, it's fine.
Well,
you
that's probably good.
You had done one. It was showing all the. Here's what everyone gets wrong. And they showed this and that.
Which is okay.
Speaking of that,
going back to what I was saying before, it's okay to get shit wrong. It's okay to get it wrong. It's not okay if it's wrong, and you got 10,000 people fucking thinking that's right.
Correct.
That is what. When I grew up, like I said,
when
I got to high school. By the time I got to high school, finally I met this guy who played guitar. That guy. And we got together and we played it that way. Well, I play it this way. Nobody knew who was right, but there's 3 guitar players with 3 different versions of how it's played, and that was how we would be individuals. You know? I mean, back then you would never confuse Jimi Hendrix with Carlos Santana, with Eric Clapton, with I could keep going. It's very individual because you had to learn. What is all this dinging?
That's Dave.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
God, can we get that out of my amp?
It's not in your amp.
That's not a feature in my amp. Is your constant dinging? Anyway,
it's a
like
switch.
I was saying, because you would have to figure it out on your own. Get a record player, and then put it back there. What's he doing? And then figure out the best you could. And made everybody sound unique. And this is what I'm afraid of today, is that the fact that you can look up a song and find out how the most popular guy that is showing you how to play that song, whether it's right or wrong, you have thousands of guitar players playing it that way instead of thousands of guitar players each trying to figure out the right way to do it. And to me, it's homogenizing guitar playing, and I just hope that isn't the downfall of the guitar.
It's an interesting thought.
Well,
when you
go ahead.
When you were, okay, I'm going to go back to the Ozzy stuff. When you had to learn Randy Rhoads stuff, and this was a question from Craig Stoffko, actually, a friend of mine. When you had to learn the Randy stuff, did you have to go listen to the albums and slow it down and all that stuff? Is that how you learned it, or did someone show you? Or
no, it just came to me. What do we say?
Well, I mean, how'd you learn it?
I had to listen to the albums.
No, I mean, how'd you learn it though?
Figure it out and slow it down and.
But I had to figure it out, and that would
the hard way.
What? I figured it out wrong. I played Crazy Train wrong. I absolutely did, and it still worked. And in the end, it kind of maybe helped me establish my own thing. But when I learned Crazy Train, I absolutely learned it not the way he played it. Because I had to listen to record. And I learned Crazy Train the night before the audition for Ozzy.
Wow.
Because I just got a call out of nowhere. Maybe not out of nowhere, but I didn't think I had the gig. And they said, you need to know Crazy Train. I don't know. I think there was another one.
Let's
Whoa.
go back.
Give me
to,
some more L's.
Let's go back to what we were talking about. Where, tell me the career. So you were back. You had the piano. You had all this, and then you went to a band. What was the first band that you were in that was?
I'll go to
you
that.
were in Mickey
Ratt.
Ratt.
Let me say that I played Crazy Train wrong. I played it throughout the whole time
We're
I
gonna
was
get to there.
in Ozzy. I played it wrong because I heard the main notes and I thought it was this way, and then eventually I realized, oh shit, it's this way. Whatever. That.
It still worked.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Still worked.
It's not a bad thing.
It still worked.
Anyway, yeah, I and then I got to high school, and I met a drummer, and he was in a band. They played at naval bases. Naval bases, the drinking age is under, so I could like sneak in there. And it was basically there's two bands. It was the same people in it, but two bands. One was basically country and western. The other one was pop. And this is how old I am. The standards for the pop band was Born on the Bayou, Proud Mary, Light My Fire.
Great though.
Light My Fire.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I mean, old shit. Which at that time it wasn't old shit. Those were the standards if you were going to be in a rock
Proud
band.
Mary's not good.
But there was that, and then the next night it would be country and western, which I had no idea about. But I understood the basics, pentatonic and a major. Yeah, I got that.
I'll figure it out.
But it was a good learning experience, and it was a good fighting experience. Because, like I said, this is on naval bases. I was 16 years old. I was a pretty 16-year-old with long hair. I would get so much shit. So much shit from the guys that, woohoo, mama, come over here, sit on my lap. And I'm like, oh yeah, you want to sit on my lap?
That reminds me of.
That's how I learned to fight.
So do you remember in Detroit you met my friend Sammy, long-haired young guitar player?
Oh yeah.
So
we had Black Chicken together.
Black Chicken, yes, Black Chicken.
And
by the way, there is an opportunity to go back to Detroit to get Black Chicken for you, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so
and Black Chicken is not a young black girl.
No.
Or die.
This is
I
not.
don't know what he's
This
talking
is not.
about, obviously.
It's a
Sorry.
long story,
this is
people.
getting weird.
So
Okay.
yeah, she see that.
All right,
So,
that's good. Did she get in my wallet? Is that why she came up here?
I don't know if she got it.
All right.
Anyway. So anyway, speaking of what you were talking about, sort of, Sammy sometimes plays in this gospel band, completely out of character for what he does.
Yeah. Oh,
but like
music has
great gospel music in all black churches, and like he is the white guy with long hair in a gospel church, and he's accepted, but it's so out of his wheelhouse, and he does it.
Awesome.
And he does it just because it's so out of his wheelhouse, and he wants to learn.
It's exciting.
Learn from this great musical experience.
It's so
because
rich.
these gospel bands with these B3s and this stuff, it's great.
And the chord
amazing.
The chord changes in gospel music are
so he does that and learns from that. So
That's
when you were
awesome.
talking about country being out of the thing, I just thought of him being out of his element, doing a great musical thing in that environment.
Musically, if you're a real musician,
and that's what he
dive into an unknown world.
That's his thing.
Is magical.
I know you don't know anything about him, other than you met him.
I know that.
But I'll have to show you some stuff. He does some amazing stuff on guitar. That is, he started off playing piano, similar to you, but he's
good bass.
He applies it in a certain way that is incredibly cool. I'll show it to you sometime. Yeah. Just so you know. Just so fuck it. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Anyway, you were
Black
doing
chicken.
this. You were doing this. Black chicken.
Black chicken.
Back to this.
Should we elaborate a little bit on that?
So we go to this restaurant.
So
I take Jake to this
Vietnamese.
A Vietnamese restaurant, but it's a quite a not a traditional approach. It's traditional in flavors, but very highly idealized.
It's not a straight pho.
It's not a straight pho. No. Yeah. So pho as in
pho.
Right.
Come on now. Calm down.
Because when I first told him we were going to this restaurant, he's like, "Oh, I just had pho." I'm like, "Going, don't worry about it. It's not like that. Don't worry about it." I take him, and the first thing he sees, he's staring at this table next to us. The first thing he sees is this black chicken leg with a foot, like a foot, claws,
huh?
And it's black.
And the claws are
and he's like looking at it like, oh, what is that? The inquisitive nature of him at that point was like constantly staring at this person's plate. And I'm like, okay, stop staring at his plate. And then we learned what this was. And it is some chicken raised by monks, right?
Yes.
Or something.
Raised by monks.
That is this certain breed of chicken that is literally, it has black bones.
It's black. Their bones are black. The claws are black.
When it's cooked, it's black.
Really?
Yeah. And
it's
it was
not
on
just
this
black feathers.
beautiful plate of rice
black.
with this beautiful like curryish sort of sauce on the side. It was
and
amazing.
The meat, once it was cooked, was like a gray blue.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
You know what? For people that are kind of queasy about things, it wouldn't be the thing because it's a claw on the plate.
No.
Weird.
But apparently he's not queasy about that stuff.
So you ate it?
Oh yeah, we ordered that and 10,000 other things.
Too much.
There's the best food ever.
Much
and you go in the end. You said that's the best food I've had in 25 years.
It was, yes.
So
I know it was the best. It was the most interesting.
Interesting?
And
okay. At the time, you said
engaged. Had me engaged.
That's cool.
Yes.
So all right,
and
so
that's what life's all about, you know.
And then there was the coffee.
So let's go.
And there was the
Jesus
coffee,
Christ.
Shit, he wants to go somewhere else.
Well,
Okay,
I was going to say, let's go. I want to get back on track.
Let's go back to this the career.
Track.
Yeah. So
Career.
Come on. So okay, let's fast forward a little bit here. So there was first major band, Mickey Ratt. Yes. No. Band before that? I don't know.
Well, in high school, I did that one band. It was country, western, and pop. And I learned a lot from that. And then I got probably when I was 17 or so, I got into this R&B funk band, which probably had a lot to do with my eventual, musical upbringing. It was horns, mostly black. I think the only non-black people was me and the drummer, who was Filipino, and he brought me into it, and that brought a whole new thing, because there's a whole rhythmic thing.
Yeah.
With all other kinds of music, there's the modes, what notes you play, but with this whole funk R&B thing, it's all about rhythm, and it taught me a lot. And they made me do steps, which to this day I appreciate. Go right, left, right, cross your legs, spin around, right? I had to do that kind of shit. I had to do that shit, and that I will say that fucking helped me. That made me different from every other rock player, because I had all these steps that I was taught.
That's interesting. That's cool.
And and the whole funk thing. I was in there when I was still in high school, and then after that, I just kept exploring. I got into a fusion band, which didn't get a lot of gigs. We played a lot of Mahavishnu Orchestra, Chick Corea, Return of Forever, stuff like that, and but musically it's very
fun.
interesting, and it actually got me an audition for I can't remember his name still, Jerry Goodman. He was the violinist in Mahavishnu Orchestra. He was in a rock band called The Flock, where he played violin, and it got me an audition for him by the time I was 20, 21, something like that, and which was a big deal. He was in Mahavishnu Orchestra, I fucking loved, and well, I didn't get it, but
Well, you tried.
But I was on the radar. Which made it interesting. So I became the big guy in San Diego, basically. I was in a rock band. We played this one place. Biggest drawing local rock band. And eventually I knew that San Diego was, that was as far as you could go. Biggest rock band. I'm kind of like the guitar player.
The biggest rock band was who?
It's called Teaser.
Oh, yeah, Teaser.
Yeah. Did a lot
And
of
then
Tommy Boy.
where did the Mickey Ratt thing come in?
See, they were one of the other bands, Mickey Ratt, in San Diego.
You were in that band at one point, right?
Not in Mickey Ratt. I was in Ratt once it got to L.A.
Oh, okay.
But I knew those guys. We, the first time we ever met, actually, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but showed up for this party. Rich people have a party. We show up. There's this other band there. I'm like, what's up? And they said, oh, we got hired for this gig. And I said, well, so did we. I said, well, what are we going to do? And it was Mickey Ratt. And, we would have kicked the shit out in a fight. But I was the bigger person. I said, you guys go first, or we'll go first if you fucking think you can do it. Anyway, so we went back and forth doing sets. And that's when I first met them. And but other than that, they were one of the lesser bands in San Diego.
Okay.
Mickey Ratt was.
So you're winding down San Diego at this point, and you want to move to
and
LA.
I say,
you moved to
I
LA.
got to go to LA.
Okay.
And
then
I was a little bit scared because by that time, Eddie Van Halen came out.
Yeah, sure.
And then Randy Rhoads. Just before I moved to LA, Randy Rhoads came out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Does everybody in LA know how to play guitar? And
well, sure. Yeah.
You know,
you got some big feet there.
I was gonna move up there, but what the hell? And then I asked some people that I knew in LA, name me the best guitar players left in LA, and I'll go check them out, make sure I know what I'm doing. And one of them said George Lynch. Got to check out George Lynch. Carlos Cavazzo.
Yeah.
And the guy now a la carte. Can't remember his name. Kevin something maybe. But he was more old school blues.
Yeah.
Right. So I went up and I saw Carlos and Snow, and I saw George and Exciter, and I saw a la carte. And no offense to any of them, but I said, "Oh yeah,
I got it covered.
I'm moving to LA."
I got it covered. Okay, so then you moved to LA, and I'm just trying to go through this
I moved to LA. I had nothing going. I moved by myself, and then but I knew the guys in Ratt, so I checked them out for a couple of gigs, and then Stephen Piercy wanted to make a change up, and he asked me if I wanted to play guitar. I said, "Yeah, let's do it," and we got pretty big. We became the house band Gazzaris. And then we started playing the Whiskey and the Troubadour. It became one of the bigger bands.
Yeah.
Until Motley Crue came out.
Yeah, and then they started.
Yeah. But we started opening. Anyway.
That's funny. You started opening for them, but you already been.
Yeah. Well, shit. When Motley Crue came out, they came. They hard. Exploded. Yeah. They had everything right.
They wanted to.
They wanted to do
right. Yeah. Their performance and what they were doing.
Their look
and everything.
Everything. Yeah. So I was in Mickey Ratt for a while.
So that was Ratt though at the time, or was it
Mickey
called
Ratt? No.
Okay.
By the time they moved to LA, Mickey Ratt became a thing with Disney, because Mickey Ratt was the bad cousin of Mickey Mouse. And
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
this is stuff that's not really talked about.
The name Mickey Ratt.
This is not really talked about, so it's interesting.
Well,
so you're in Ratt. You're doing that. You're playing. You're opening for Motley Crue. Blah blah blah. So then, how do you leave Ratt?
You know what?
Warren becomes the guitar player.
Yeah, Warren was my buddy from San Diego. It was basically, we got into this point, and I gotta say, Stephen Piercy started getting really fucked up on stage.
Oh, jeez. And shocking. Have you seen recently?
I was gonna say recently it's been bad.
Holy shit!
But yeah, he got so fucked up, and he'd say, "Okay, now we're gonna play this song," and I'd have to be like, "Steven, we just played that song." Again, what do you think?
So this is nothing that has not happened before.
No.
Okay.
So there was that, and then there was Robin Crosby, who moved up later. He was one of the San Diego. He was in a band called Aircraft.
Yeah.
He moved up to LA after I did, and oh shit, and he,
that's why.
Like I did before, he would show up at Ratt gigs, and they say, "I should be in the band. I should be in the band." Should you? I'm good. I like being the one guitar player.
Yeah. Well, your style, I think, dictates more of a one guitar thing. But.
Yeah. And he just and I liked Rob. He kept hammering it.
Man.
And finally, I said, "All right, okay, you can be in the band." Because Stephen always says, "It's up to Jake. He's the guitar player." I said, "Okay." And he said, "I won't do any leads. I'll only play if all you want me to do is a note every 4 bars, that's what I'll do. I said, okay, all right then, let's do this. We start doing this, like, what else do I got? I'm like,
Nothing.
Nothing. Come on, Jake. And so I give him more and more parts. Then he starts saying, what leads do I get to play? And I was like, really? Really, motherfucker? And, you know, he can play guitar. But eventually I just said, you know what? You can play every fucking solo that you can do better than me. How's that? He said, come on. Like, what? You want to, what? We should go for second best? If you can play a solo better than me, you fucking do it. And he was like, but the whole dynamic got weird.
It got weird, yeah.
Yeah. Because there was me and him. And then apparently he dressed more like a rat than I did. Steven at one point pulled me over. And I was the longest member in the band. He pulled me over and said, yeah, you need to look more like Ratt. What do you mean? He goes, Robin knows. I know. We need to look like
Jesus
Ratt.
Christ.
I'm like, really? All right. You know what? You know what you need to do? You need to be Ratt without me, motherfucker. And so I quit. You know.
So then did you
and
recommend Warren?
Yeah.
For the gig?
I said I quit.
And here's the guy.
I won't quit because we had gigs.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not just going to fucking leave you. But you should consider Warren, who was just a kid in San Diego. But he was one of the kids. When I was in San Diego, I was the guitar guy. And it was funny because every gig I would do, we'd do gigs where underage, you know, you could drink or you could not drink. But it was funny because in front of me, I'll be a dozen guys who seem like this. I'm studying everything I did. And Warren was one of them. But Warren looked like friendly. He was just like, and we got to be friends. And he, obviously he was fucking good.
Yeah, he's a great guitar.
And I said, you need to fucking consider Warren.
Yeah.
If I'm leaving, you need to consider Warren. Because I knew the whole layout in L.A.
Yeah.
I said, Warren's better than anybody else out here that's available to me. And so
you were
I brought him up. And it was funny because he was going to go to college. You know, he comes from a fairly rich family.
So what you're saying is you sort of
fucked him up,
ruined his fucking life,
or made it better, made it
better. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, right?
But yeah, he was going to go to college, and he was a little bit hesitant. He said, "Jake, I'm going to college, man. This whole thing." I said, "Yeah, but what if?" I said, "What if?" Because it was, like I said, it was the early 80s.
Well, I think that was what if was good. In the end, that was
LA
good for him.
Was fucking
because
it was bubbling up.
I later saw him playing at 18,000 people arenas in when I was growing up, Invasion of Privacy and all that fucking.
But you didn't know that. But it was all the signs were there. Like I said, LA at that time was like
it's a
metal wasn't accepted yet.
Yeah,
but.
Again,
you could just see it.
He was one of those 5.
Something was fucking happening.
There's 5.
I said, Warren, give it a year.
Actually, there was 6.
college off.
Sorry, there was 6.
All right, who's number 6?
Randy died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was part of 6,
well, no,
I would say. But
he was part of the 2 that made me wonder about going to L.A. Yeah. But, no, I said, come up here, sleep on my couch. I'll fucking feed you. Give it a year, because I could. Anybody that was there could see it. There's something fucking happening here.
Yeah,
this whole LA thing. There's something that's either going to explode or nothing will happen. Fucking here. It's a once in a life.
Go. Yeah.
Just, come on, do it, and it worked out great.
Okay, so you left Ratt, and you went to who? At the time. So there was Rough Cut somewhere? Rough Cut,
I went to Rough Cut because half the rhythm section from Ratt went to Rough
Cut. By the way, Amir says hi.
What, just now?
Yeah, actually.
I haven't seen his face in like
10,000 years. Well, look.
But hello, Amir.
I know you haven't seen his face in 2 years, and you might not even care.
Yeah.
But tell Jake I said hi.
Hi, Amir. What's up? Is he still doing? What was it? Orgy?
No, Orgy ended. Orgy still exists, but
yeah, I thought I saw gigs.
Their part of it ended. Him and Ryan, who was the main guitar players, and in Orgy left. He does a band now called Julian K. Julian K is it's kind of interesting. It's a more of a 80s synth pop kind of band.
All right.
Yeah. But now they're kind of going back into a little bit of the sound of Orgy. But they're doing it all independently, and they're doing it quite well. Yeah. It's hard to promote your own music, and they've done a really good job of actually taking the whole business side of it, by themselves. Actually, pretty cool music. If you like at all like a Depeche Mode kind of
Flock of Seagulls,
like kind of thing.
Yeah, no.
Then you probably like the music that they're doing. So, and now they're gearing a little bit back to heavier stuff too. So,
no, that sounds interesting.
So
and good for him.
But they're still but they're doing it independently, truly independently from any label or anything.
Oh.
And they're actually making it work with crowdfunding and all sorts of stuff. So I think that's cool. March forward, yeah.
Well, I got
anyway.
I actually go ahead, Dave.
We moved to Rough Cut. You were in Rough Cut for a while.
Yeah.
And then where did you go from there?
Rough Cut was managed by Wendy Dio.
Yep. And then you went to.
And then Ronnie quit Sabbath. Was looking around for guitar players. He said, "How about you?" And we started working on the first record in his garage.
Where he was playing bass, right?
He was playing like an EBO.
Because you showed up. I just got this from another podcast, but you showed up, and you're like, "Who's playing bass?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I am." And
was he good?
He's a good bass player. Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, how hard is it to play?
Oh wow!
No.
Oh man, Mr. Esposito. What are you going to say about that?
Come on, I'm obviously joking. I had Greg Chase on in Badlands, who was the oddest selection of all time being a band, because I believe in his bass playing.
Yeah.
But
and you now have
Dio could.
Mr. Esposito.
Mr. Anthony Esposito.
Anthony Esposito, who is a badass on bass.
He's really good.
Just like his tone and everything. It's just like.
Well, his tone's always been really good.
Holy shit.
And he's always been a rock solid, like.
Yeah.
And punk attitude. Where I think he excelled, where he surprised me, was how for patina, because patina is so many different colors and layers and spices, where he stepped up and he went beyond what I thought and what I think anybody thought
he would do.
Not that he was capable of, but what he had done before.
Mm-hmm.
He really showed his musicianship, and yeah.
I mean, he impressed me. Seeing him live impressed me a lot, because it was like such a good tone and such a good attitude, and he would just lock in and just really deliver.
Lock in, he has that attack. Yeah. He impressed Greg Chase on. Greg Chase on.
No, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, amazing bass player and hard to impress.
Yeah.
But he, when we played in Phoenix and Greg came up and played Highway.
I saw that.
But he was there for the whole show, and first thing he said after the show was like, "Anthony impressed the fuck out of me." It's like, really? He goes, "Yeah." He said, I didn't think about it before. I heard the record, watching him play those parts, he said, Anthony impressed.
No, he's badass.
And that's hard to do for Greg Chase.
No, I was sitting back when we were in Detroit. And I was sitting in the back, way in the back. I stand up front for a while, and then I went way in the back. And I'm just sitting there listening to the bass. I'm like going, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what rock bass tone is about right here. Digging in and just, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's rock music
right
is, if anything, rock music is about aggressive attitude.
Yeah.
You know,
If he had the attitude.
Like 300 years from now, they're going back and they say, what did rock music do? Aggressive attitude. That's what rock music is. Absolutely.
And Anthony has that.
Yeah.
So going back to the Dio thing. So you were with him for 6 weeks.
Dio, oh my God, 6 weeks.
Dio.
We're trying to get past that to the Ozzy part.
I was in it. Yes. It was me, Ronnie, and Vinny in a garage, and
great, Vinny.
Yeah, I can still remember my version of Holy Diver, which is a lot different than Vinny's.
Huh.
If you had a guitar and a Friedman amp here, I'd play.
Sorry, I don't. It's a little hard to do traveling to Vegas. I guess I could have done it.
I think that was the thing. Ronnie liked my guitar playing. He respected my guitar playing. He wanted me to be a part of the band. But in the end, I think, I don't want to say more complex. This makes Vinny sound less. Not Vinny. Vivian's. My concept of playing rhythm guitar is more complicated than a lot of other guitar players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my version of shit, now I have to do it at some point. But my version of Holy Diver was a lot more complex than what Vivian's was. I'm not saying it was better.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I think Ronnie eventually wanted a more European flavor as far as the rhythm playing than what I was showing him.
Yeah.
So I didn't stay in the band.
I didn't know you were in the band until I heard that podcast.
I thought I was, so.
Okay, so after Ronnie, so how do you get the call for Ozzy? How does that happen?
Weird. Yeah.
After
Ronnie, I was still in Rough Cut, and then they wanted to change because it had Claude Schnell on keyboards, and I was the only guitar player. They wanted to fire him, he was one of the original members of Rough Cut. They wanted to fire him and get another guitar player, and become, to me, like one of a dozen fucking LA guitar bands with 2 guitar players. And so I quit. I quit Rough Cut too. Not in Dio. Quit Rough Cut. And I had nothing going for a while. And I was approaching the 25-year-old threshold.
The threshold?
Yeah. Where I always thought, if I can't do this by the time I'm 25, you got to start looking at other stuff.
Right.
Like hooking on the streets and stuff. So that wasn't one of my options. But yeah, I wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. I was getting drunk a lot, checking out everybody else, Motley, and then one day I get a call where Ozzy's, how do I put this? George had to give.
Well, George was traveling with the band.
He was,
playing in sound checks, right?
Playing in sound checks.
And like they were feeling him out.
They were. And apparently they didn't like what they felt.
They were feeling him out. And then from
like
what
I
understand,
I just saw George from 2-3
from
months.
then what I understand, you come in, you did the audition, right?
I did the audition.
And
I was all pretty.
And you said,
according to George, I was all pretty With my hair flowing and shit.
But you, at least from what I've gathered from other podcasts, you said it was a shitty audition. I did.
Oh,
shit.
it was shitty.
I was fucking bullshit.
And I argued with George just the other night about it. He said, "Oh, you played like crap." I said, "I didn't play like crap. I didn't know the fucking songs."
Yeah.
There's a difference. It's not like I went out there and just played shit guitar. You know? Hey, let go. I could play fucking guitar.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the fucking song.
Yeah, you had
this
no
part
time
mixed
to.
up, that part. Yeah. I didn't know the songs. Doesn't mean I played like shit. And then George went, same thing.
Yeah, but George is like that.
He's always gonna blame it on.
He's always gonna push the button a little bit and like.
I love that.
Like
he's funny.
He's funny about that.
He's a funny man.
Yeah, and you know what? I had him on the show also.
Yeah.
And
you talked shit about me?
No, he didn't say shit about you.
Oh, he didn't say anything.
Nothing.
Oh well, then fuck him.
So the thing is I've known George for a lot of years, and he's a nice guy.
I like George.
I think he's a really sweet guy. And
sweet.
Well, okay. He's a nice guy. He doesn't mean anyone harm. Maybe he did back then, but not now. Not now in his life, okay? And a lot of people take him wrong in interviews because he has sort of a warped sense of humor.
He does.
And
that's one of the things I love.
And the warped sense of humor often comes off as you're a dick.
Yeah.
But when we had him on the show,
he was great.
He showed his normal George to me side.
Yeah.
Just talking gear bullshit, crap, and everyone was like, "Oh, he was great there." Oh, I go, yeah, that's George. What you saw was George. Anything else you got from any other interview is not George. He's a nice guy. He doesn't mean anyone harm.
I wouldn't go as far as saying he's a nice guy. Okay. But I like George.
Okay. Well, that's
I fucking like George.
It's
I
good
like
enough.
hanging with him.
That's a good enough right there.
Nice? I'd know if he's nice.
Okay.
I'd know if he's bad either. I'd know if he's no. But I like him.
Well, that says something right there. Right
and my wife, Amy.
The
first time she met him, fucker's a dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like,
no,
I
he's
like
not.
George. She goes, I know why you like him. Must be a guitar player thing. And then just the other night,
she
saw
was
us,
warmed up.
She saw us like interacting. She said, all right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He misunderstood. Misunderstood a lot.
Just see him on the surface. Yeah.
And you can take him wrong.
You could think he's just
you can take him wrong.
Huge.
But if you know him, you like him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nice
funny.
guy. You like him.
He's funny.
Yeah,
I like.
Once you learn his sense of humor, then you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
He's a little goofy in his sense of humor.
And he's good. I like George.
You know,
he was a really cool. He was a cool guy on the show. He was.
And he's almost as good as me on guitar. So. I gotta give him that.
So
I think you totally smoke him on the rhythm part.
But
then again, maybe you smoke him on the lead part. I don't know.
The solo.
Depends on what you're looking for.
To me, solo shit is a personal thing. It's what speaks to you.
Mm-hmm.
Rhythm playing, I fucking smoke him. Come on.
Yeah, you do.
He does.
You do.
George will. Okay, it's nay. Don't cut down.
But
give me a flat fifth.
I do find.
I love you, George. Sorry.
I do find.
But I do smoke him. Wait.
I do find the funny thing is, like, whenever he comes in to try something, he plays nothing but lead stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Always just like noodling. And when I hear
noodles.
When I hear noodles are not really in context of a song or anything, and it's just like, where's this guy? But when you see him in context of his band, you're like going, Oh, that's where the noodles go. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. And when you also hear him in context with his band, you're like going, well, you can play rhythm, but you never do it when you're just standing in front of the amp. I mean, like, ever. Like, let me tell you something. Being an amp designer, hearing lead stuff through an amp, you don't know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it sounds like. I want to hear rhythm, chunky rhythm. I want to hear rhythm.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that makes the amp sound like an amp. You know what I mean? Like lead stuff that's just like legato lines. You're like, well, okay, it's distorted. Oh, yeah, okay, but
Yeah, it's
but
different.
like,
It's
yeah,
different
the
when you're
first-
playing.
And the
one
combination.
of our artists, I don't know if you met him out here, Phil X. You know Phil X? You know who he is?
No.
Okay. Anyway, Phil X was
He's in Bon
right
Jovi
He
now.
plays in Bon Jovi, but
Doing what?
that was just a
Guitar.
Richie Sambora's gig.
Oh.
But Phil X was a session guitar player in LA. He did all that stuff for the Motley Crue record, and he did all the background rhythms and all this stuff. And he's played on a million records, Daughtry, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rock guy. First time I met him, he comes into my room at an amp show, and he plugs into my amp. He turns the gain way the fuck down and the volume up. I'm like going, thank you. That was great. Because he was just playing raw rock rhythm stuff. That was fantastic, man. And so I have no idea where I'm going with this now.
Yeah.
Something speared me on with this, but now I'm lost. So
I don't know.
George, it all started.
It all started with George. Well,
Rhythm.
let's go back to
rhythm. Phil
Okay.
was all about rhythm, and he would just play rolled back gain, and he would play like solid, chunky rock rhythm, and you're like, yeah, that sounds great that way. You know?
Yeah.
As opposed to every other motherfucker that comes in and turns everything on 10, all the gain and everything. I'm just like, no. Okay, fine. It sounds okay, but
No. And I got shit about this on not a lot of shit, but I think I did Premier Guitar or something.
yeah, you
the rig
amp
rundown.
breakdown.
Yeah, rig rundown.
Yeah. And I was talking about how
You only got a few
fucking
things
go
wrong.
on 10.
Nothing
Go
with
on
me.
10. Go on 10, and then I got a little bit of feedback about, yeah, well, I play in my bedroom. That's why I can't turn on 10. I wasn't attacking them.
Yeah,
I
know.
understand that
This is how I do.
But on stage, you're playing a fucking concert. Those guys, gain on 10, volume 1, ooh, I'll go 1.5. Those are the guys I'm fucking talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a goddamn rock concert. Get some fucking, get some liveliness in your fucking.
Get some balls in your fucking life.
Let's
Learn where your balls
get
are.
overwhelmed. Get overwhelmed by your amp and learn to control it.
Well, I don't know if you know who. You probably don't. Who Pete Thorn is. Pete Thorn is a guitar player. He does a bunch of pedal reviews and stuff and
On YouTube.
Online.
It sounds.
He played with Chris Cornell, and he's played with a lot of artists. He's a good friend of mine.
So what's his problem?
But no, there's no problem. He tries to explain to people the interaction of volume to your guitar playing. So turning up a Marshall on 10 has an interaction to how you play it, how it feeds back, how you control it, how you use the feedback to in your songs, and
solos or even
and like
it's
my friend Dave Black, who's also out with us at that at dinner, has rock band that was in that decline and fall, Western civilization, whatever. They were a big Detroit band, huge Detroit band, biggest rock band in Detroit, period, in the 80s. They were punk influenced, punk influenced, unbelievably intense band to see live.
Detroit,
but intensity, like where you were infusing punk with rock and everything else in their music, and it was just fucking like you were there in the time seeing them, and it was like you wanted to punch someone. You felt this angst and this feeling. But he was saying, he goes, dude, the volume and the thing, it's all about the interaction between the guitar and the amp and how it feeds back. And when you control the feedback at a certain point and that intensity, he goes, that's what it's all about. And everything is lost now.
No,
it doesn't exist now.
It's not even so much controlling, it's trying to control. Hit a chord. All of a sudden, this note's feeding back. You didn't expect it.
Yeah.
What do you do
with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so exciting to me.
That is exciting. That's rock.
It's the element, the wild element.
And I think there's a little punk element involved in that wild element.
Yes.
And I think
absolutely. James Williamson, big influence on my playing. I don't mention him enough, so I'm going to say it now.
I'm interested who the Stooges. Yeah. Okay, yes. Got it.
Isn't that his name? James Williamson?
I think so.
For this, third one. God, I'm old. I can't think of shit. Third one. With Search and Destroy and all that shit. Come on, what's it called? Give me.
I don't know.
Give me some help. Give the old guys
James
some help.
Williamson. Should we go? Google?
Yeah, come on. Somebody's got it. You? Come on.
No, I don't know.
I'm not looking at the chat at all, Mark.
I'm looking at the chat. No one's giving me the answer. So.
Third fucking Stooges album. I can't even think of the name. He's like in Silver Lame and glittery.
God, my friend.
Power. See, I'm so old I can't even think of anything more than Power.
That's okay.
Something Power.
Can't.
I'm looking it up.
Now,
same way.
Now I'm just embarrassed. Oh shit. But yeah.
Raw Power.
Raw Power.
See how far off am I? I'm so old. Raw Power. That album was fucking huge on me. And James Williamson. Is that not the guitar player?
I'm looking. Let's see. Do they give the names of the
Stooges?
Yeah, I got it, but they're not giving the name of the band, unfortunately, other than the names of the people in the band.
He wrote the songs with them too.
Personnel. Iggy Pop, Dave Alexander, Ron Ashton, and Scott Ashton.
No.
And then the additional person, John Cale.
Oh my God! Come on.
All right. Well,
anyway, his guitar playing on Search and Destroy. It was huge on me because it's all about aggression.
Yes,
it's about fucking aggression. That's what rock's about.
You would love aggression. Dave's band. Actually, if you saw them live, you would go, "I get it."
Who? Seduce?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only if you saw them live. Maybe one day. Anyway.
All right, so let's go back. Let's get back on track.
So
I know.
So you get a call for the Ozzy.
We're like on the third fucking question.
We're trying to get through the Ozzy part. We're trying to get through the Ozzy part, and everyone wants to hear about it. So you get the Ozzy call. You go audition.
Yeah.
You said it was a shit audition.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah. You didn't.
I got the call the night before. They said, "Do you want to audition for Ozzy?" I was like,
"Yes."
Yeah, okay. I said, "Okay, learn this. Oh shit." And I didn't know the songs, and I had to borrow. Calm down there. I had to borrow a record from somebody and fucking try to learn it that night. And I got trolled about this before, where I said this earlier in an interview, where I said, I don't know, and Crazy Train or an A, English. No, Crazy Train's an F sharp minor, stupid. Yeah, I get that. The beginning is. But you can't tell me the fucking verse is not A major. Anyway, there's all these A chords. All these A. And these are all, I don't know why it upsets me so much. These are bozos that I don't know what they do.
Of course,
what do they change oil during the fucking day?
Believe me, this is what's going to happen.
Then at night they say, oh, Jake, he doesn't know his music theory. Fuck you, I do. Yeah, anyway, I got the parts mixed up. Because, you got Crazy Train, bam, 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 bam. And they got, I don't know, bam, bam, bam. They're all basically same tempo. And basically in motherfucking A, right? And I got parts mixed up because I learned it the night before. I didn't play like shit, like George says. Oh, you played shitty. No,
whatever.
I don't know.
No one
shitty.
knows. No one knows.
I just got parts mixed up.
Yeah, you didn't have the best audition that you could have hoped for.
And I got there right.
Well, so basically,
I was me.
Yeah, you were. Whatever.
I showed up a little late.
You were late.
I said, let's try these songs. Oh yeah, fuck that. And then, and one of the things that Sharon Osbourne did say, because I walked in like that late, didn't really know the songs. God,
Dave, you got to turn that phone.
And then, she said, "Well, do you have a solo prepared?" Solo? What do you mean? I said, like if you're gonna do a solo guitar in the middle of a concert. I went, no, and I'm not gonna do it now because I just fucked that shit up. I said, I can do one. I'm not doing it now. And she said that was one of the things. That was the thing where she went, oh, he might be the guy. Because she said
she liked your.
She said he can do it. He's not doing it now. She liked my attitude.
Yeah, she liked your attitude
and my hair, according to George.
She liked your hair and attitude. She liked you essentially.
She liked the look.
Is what which plays out later.
Yeah. Obviously I can do a solo. Not doing it now.
Okay, so
she loved that.
George Lynch, who was on tour and
he had
essentially auditioning with the people. This was done as soon as they said you got the gig, right?
Yeah.
They said you got the gig, and
that's the first time I ever met George.
Yeah, and you're like, I got the gig, and sorry you don't.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, he said that. Ozzy said it. Yeah.
Oh, Ozzy said it to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
To both you
George
and George.
Yeah. What's the story? So what's it?
George walked in with I forgot his wife's name at the time. They walked in. How's it going? I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Jake. And then Ozzy walked in and said, you lost the gig. It's his. And then just walked away. Yeah. Like, oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
And George is looking like, what the
fuck just happened?
I don't fucking know. I'm newer at this than you are. But, what's going on there?
Apparently my wife is ordering food in L.A.
Your wife?
Yeah.
That's important.
That's good.
So I have nothing
as long as it's not mine.
On my credit card.
Because if she's in fucking L.A., there's
my
a bunch of questions there. My wife.
Oh, if your wife's in L.A.? Yeah.
In L.A. ordering food. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, your wife would probably like my wife. But anyway, that's a different story. But, anyway, okay, so you got the Ozzy gig.
Got the gig.
That's the thing. Your first shows were in Europe somewhere, right? Unbeknownst. Forget Wikipedia, people.
Yeah. Was not
because it wasn't the US Festival. Those weren't the first shows.
That would be a hell of a first show.
You had some shows. Obviously, you got the gig. You had some shows, and then you had to record a record, right?
Yeah.
So.
I think so.
Well, you recorded Bark of the Moon, right?
Yeah.
And that was before the US Festival.
Yeah. Well, no.
Well, you played Bark of the Moon at the US Festival, didn't you?
No.
You didn't?
No, I don't think so.
Shit. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm an asshole.
Oh my god.
Never mind. So anyway,
please.
So he
start asking.
He
doesn't know.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No. We did the. first I did
I'm
a
old, I
3-week
forget.
European tour opening for Whitesnake, which, as a guitar player, in '83, that was bizarre that Ozzy Osbourne was
Opening for Whitesnake, yeah.
Well,
that's-
Whitesnake in Europe
because they were
was huge.
nothing. Oh, they were huge.
Huge
I
in
didn't know
Europe.
that. But
Yeah.
in America, it's like, what's a Whitesnake?
Huge in fucking Europe.
Yeah.
I remember learning about them through Kerrang magazine, and well, of course, Kerrang magazine, right? And I remember, that was like massive.
Oh, they're huge.
They were huge.
And Mel
that was
Galley.
way before the
Mel
the-
Galley was one of my guitar heroes.
That was the original
He was
guy, right?
Yeah, the guy that John Sykes fucking
replaced.
crunched him.
Yeah.
Well, broke
Or
his
whatever.
fucking arm.
Whatever he did.
But
Broke his
Mel
arm?
Galley was
Wait, broke his arm?
yeah.
I don't know the story.
Okay, first off, Mel Galley is one of my guitar heroes as far as God, he was
There
so
was some
good.
good stuff.
He
in the early West Indies.
he was on Trapeze. We Are the Music. We Are the Band. You're Just the Music. Whatever it's called.
Mhm.
That album, some of the best fucking guitar playing I have ever heard in my life. So fucking tasteful. And the tones. I still go after those tones. He was one of my heroes. And he was in, Whitesnake and the John Sykes. And then they were doing some kind of jumping game where people would lie on the ground and then somebody would jump over them. John Sykes jumped over. Mel Galley was there. His fucking cowboy boot landed on his wrist and broke multitude of bones.
Oh.
If you look up Mel Galley, like later pictures, he has this whole apparatus with springs attached to his
shit.
knuckles and shit, just so he could still play guitar.
Oh, that's horrible.
But anyway, I don't know where this is on.
I didn't know.
We
I didn't know
we
about
opened for Whitesnake,
But
which I was wondering which Ozzy Osbourne band I was in, because who the fuck is Whitesnake? Why are we opening?
right.
But we did that for 3 weeks, and then we came back on the east coast of America for makeup dates because
of the Randy death thing, yeah.
passed. And
And everyone's like wanting to lynch you because you're not
like,
Randy.
who is this good-looking, dark-haired guy on guitar? No,
But you were
everybody was.
you
not.
were
But
you were pretty accepted pretty much right away.
I'd say it was about 50-50, really.
I mean, it's not like the fans had a
I mean,
choice.
like it seemed like me at the
No.
time as
Randy,
Randy
a-
was dead.
Was dead.
Right,
Yeah.
he passed
He
away.
wasn't-
It's not like he
But
replaced.
Wasn't coming back.
You were the
Yeah.
first one though that So there was
There was
Brad.
a Torme.
there was Torme and there was
and then there was Brad.
Brad, and they were just filling in sort of
for the
as-
tour.
and it was okay, it was cool, but you were the first guy to have
I was striking.
you were striking exactly.
Yes.
Because that's what that wasn't the word I was going to use, but that is exactly what
But I was. And
you had
and I'm
a
saying this, trying to be outside of the whole thing.
you
I was the perfect choice.
you had a you had a
I wasn't trying
How do
to
I
be
say?
anybody else.
you weren't trying to be anyone else,
I had
but you
dark
had
hair.
a
I was like
a
half
voice.
Oriental. Come on.
a voice. You had a voice.
didn't have
you had
a bar.
You had a thing.
Right,
I
you were
was-
unique. You were unique.
I was
You-
distinct out of the whole, and even out of the whole
Now-
LA thing.
Everyone's gonna get pissed off
I'm
now.
a little bit.
What I'm
I
gonna
was
say.
a little bit different than everybody.
Everyone's
else.
gonna get pissed off with what I'm gonna say.
Me too.
Jake was my favorite Ozzy guitar player.
Well,
Now, I liked Randy, although I thought I liked Jake more. Now, Randy had a thing, and it was a thing, but personally, Jake's my favorite Ozzy guitar player. Sorry.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
and
when-
Holy shit, this
second
is-
to
Wow, that thing's almost
Second
done.
to-
Holy shit.
yeah, that's done. And second
which means this interview is
to
It's almost
You.
done. Yes, exactly.
was Joe Holmes. I thought Joe Holmes was a great guitar player.
Really?
Do you know
See,
Joe?
I know Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he never recorded a record
no.
that was he didn't give birth to an album. Unfortunately, Joe was a great guitar player though for Ozzy.
I think
And I think
he just wasn't.
have you ever heard his band?
Being distinct. The whole
Have you ever
being
heard his
distinct.
band?
No. Farm.
Flamencos?
No.
That's a pretty good record. You should check it out sometime if you don't.
I will check it out before I reserve. You know, before I judge.
But I like him better than I like him better than Jake. Or I like him better not than Jake. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Wrong. Sorry.
The alcohol has set in.
This is gone. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
better than Zach.
It's the distinction.
I'm not a Zach fan. I'm not a Zach fan at all. It's just.
I'm not a Zach fan. I mean, I love Zach. Don't get me wrong. I think Zach
he's great.
is a good guy, I love Zach, but I don't.
And he approached it very well.
I think he's a great guitar player. I think he can fucking really. He's a good dude. I love him. I've been to his house. I like him, but I'm not. Sue me, Zach, kill me.
The pinch harmonics.
But I'm not a fucking. I don't think Zach was a Ozzy guitar player. Sorry. I don't.
Oh, he's perfect. No more tears.
No, I don't know.
Nobody else would have done
I
that.
never liked anything Ozzy did after you.
No more tears.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either.
No, I'm not a big fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say your two albums.
Song.
I'm gonna say your two albums.
Nobody.
I'm gonna say your two albums
better than
were
Zach.
better.
He put the slide in it right.
I'm not saying he's not a great guitar player. I'm not saying he's not a this, that, blah, blah, blah. I know Zach really well, and he calls me Father Dave. He calls everyone Father and everything. I love him. I like him. I don't love his Ozzy albums. I'm not sorry. Just don't.
I think he was. You know what? I think I was perfect after Randy.
You were
going to find somebody and not be Randy. I was the guy.
I think you should have done a third record.
Furthermore, I think if you're going to find somebody who's not Jake, I think Zach was the perfect.
Yeah.
Zach was a good guy. Okay, I'll admit that Zach was a decent guy not great. Decent. I'll say decent. I couldn't picture someone else doing it, although I think Joe Holmes actually would have done a better record.
Yeah, maybe I need to hear Joe more.
You need to hear his solo.
I've got a question for Jake. So when you were writing,
let's do some questions. You said there's
how about we do some questions? Let's.
We will.
We're totally
covered 3 questions.
We have totally not considered
let's
any
do
questions.
Yeah.
By the way,
so let's cover people's
the answer was
questions.
James.
Let's go to the yes or no.
James Williamson from the Stooges, by the way.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, that's what you said, but you were asking, so I just wanted to confirm.
But he was a huge influence.
Cool.
His aggression. I mean, come on, search and destroy.
So when you were writing with Ozzy, did you feel pressure to write like Randy? Did you feel pressure to write the rhythms like Randy and stuff like that, or were you just writing what came to you, or did you feel like I have to write in the style of Randy?
Both. To be honest, "Bark the Moon" was a song, the riff I wrote with when I was in Rough Cut. But just half the pedal notes down. It was bam 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 bam. It was that.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was a good riff. And when I joined Ozzy, I said, "Shit, let's double it up." Bam 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 bam. And it worked.
Wow.
So
worked big time.
Yeah. It both. I and it's weird because it just the way I am, I don't get nervous. I don't get scared. The Ozzy thing was a huge challenge. I remember when we were writing the album, me thinking, okay, Randy Rhoads, awesome. I have to step up. And I never got scared, but there was always that weight of like, okay,
yeah, sure.
Ozzy played with fucking Tony Iommi, riff god of the universe. Then he played with Randy Rhoads. I'm number 3. There was always that weight on me. And there was a couple of times when we were doing it. I think it was Tommy Aldridge. I'm not sure exactly who. But, come on, let's get high. And I get high. And then I get that whole fucking marijuana, like, paranoia. And like, oh, shit. Tony Iommi. Randy Rhoads. Oh.
Oh, shit. Right?
I'd go to sleep like, I'm not worthy. So there was always that, but my basic being is I am what I am. I'll do the best I can do. If it's not good enough, so yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So you recorded this record.
Which record?
Bark at the Moon.
Bark. Okay.
You went out and toured.
God, I want a cigarette. Is it possible to go out on that balcony?
It's possible to hang your head on the balcony. Yes.
Point this.
We could. Well, we could take a break for a second.
It's getting late. I know.
The time flies. The time flies.
Well, I'm good.
But we're
I'm
not.
good
We're
to go
not.
all
We're
night.
not.
Okay, good.
We're not really even close to done here.
Fucking cigarette.
So
we can take a break.
we can hang your head up.
Or it's $250.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to pay it. Here's the funny thing. Everyone smokes in this whole fucking the casino, everything, and all the fucking cigarette smokes wafts up to the rooms. And guess what? You can't smoke in the room.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But you can hang your head
Or,
up the door.
what
you can do it.
And I have done this on occasions. I don't know how this is pertinent to what we're talking about, but it's all up to the maids. They come in and go.
Well, there's no way. Everything smells like
$40
smoke.
tip.
Yeah, they don't smell smoke.
$40 on the tip on the bed.
They don't
smell no smoke.
I don't smell nothing.
I'm just saying.
No, literally, there's
awesome.
a door there. You can hang your
Might
head
not be
right
20
out the
bucks.
fucking door.
I'm just saying, it could be $40.
You want to smoke? I'm not joking. Right there.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to smoke.
So,
what were we talking about?
so anyway,
finish the shit up, and then you can.
yeah, we can do the something and something. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring it out.
Mark, we have
Let's get
questions.
adventurous.
We do have questions.
So wait, before we do that, what were we talking about?
Bark at the Moon. You were gonna ask.
Bark at the Moon. Okay.
What?
So
Pressure.
I'm gonna push beyond this. So now with the dirt that came out with Motley Crue,
You want to bring.
so you're on tour with Ozzy on Bark at the Moon, obviously. So we have now seen the dirt, and there is a scene on the dirt
Yeah.
where Ozzy snorts ants at poolside.
No. See.
Now, I would just like a first-hand
Account.
account of this information, and I'm not saying it happened, not happened. I'm not saying shit. So now, please tell us
I was. I
so you were
was
hanging at the
there,
pool,
and I never saw ants. Everybody's
but you
saying
weren't
he
bothered.
snorted ants.
But you weren't right on top of him, so you don't know.
I was right there.
Oh, you were right
He
there.
snorted a little spider.
Okay.
You know,
Mm.
there was not a trail of fucking ants there. Tommy says it, Mickey says it, Ozzy says it. They were fucked up. I was not. I was just trying to get a fucking suntan. That's all I
You
was
were laying
doing.
out by the pool going,
Yes.
I'm chilling
They
out
were
here.
getting fucked up.
I'm getting paid to fucking lay by this pool right now.
Yes. Ozzy snorted a little tiny, like, stupid spider that was crawling across the counter like that. It was no ants. It was no fucking ants. I don't care what the other guys say. There was no ants. And it
What
all
about the
started.
piss?
What?
What about the piss?
Oh, that was true.
So the piss is true.
The piss is true.
It started with a contest. I don't remember how.
It's like a gross out contest, sort of.
Yeah, well, it was Nikki and it was Ozzy. I think it started in the pool. They were both swimming in the pool, and they kind of like raced, and of course Ozzy lost. And then it turned into a push-up contest. Of course Ozzy lost. And then because Ozzy was getting tired of losing, he made it a little bit.
This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he stepped it up. And I do remember at one point Ozzy was sitting there. Wasn't wearing a dress, but I understand the movie license going that far. But he's sitting there. He got this weird look on his face like that. And then piss started. He was sitting on the concrete, and piss started like flowing out underneath him. And he was obviously doing a lot of vitamins because it was like lime green.
Oh yeah,
right.
Lots of vitamins.
And he did that. So Nikki Sixx, I remember, pissed on the girl he was with. She was lounging like this. She was not happy about it. But Ozzy pissed on the ground. He saw that and he went over and he pissed on the girl that he was with in the lounge chair. And that's when Ozzy bent over and started licking his own green piss up. That is where I said, okay, I'm out of here. Because not only is that happening, but there's families on the other side of the pool. I see
With
children and mothers and fathers like looking horrified, like what the fuck is going on over there? And I wasn't. I wanted.
You were just like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm
out.
See ya. Bye bye.
So I'm not. My tool
recollection.
times is done.
That is my recollection. And Ozzy snorted this little spider that was crawling across. It was no ants. Not that that's a big deal. I mean, it's a minor detail.
So
I'm just saying.
Any other stories on?
So, are there any other stories from that tour that fucking really stand out that were kind of gross?
There's a ton of stories. I know how far you want me to go.
Come on.
But tell us something we haven't heard.
Give us something that no one's heard yet.
Mick Mars called me a slant-eyed Japanese bastard.
Oh shit! Wow,
Yeah,
really?
That's weird. And me and Mick, as far as I know, we're good right now. We were not that night.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it all goes back to the LA days. After I quit.
I met
Ratt.
Mick before. He seemed
After
like
I
a nice
quit
guy.
Ratt, like I said, we're good now, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I'm stronger. I'll fucking arm wrestle.
Oh
You'll
shit!
beat him.
You'll
Is
beat
that
him.
bad? Is that
No, you'll beat him too.
I'm fucking around. And if
Mick,
who I think
he's not.
he'll
He's joking.
chuckle about that. No, but it's back to the LA days. I quit Ratt. I had nothing going on. I was going to Motley's fucking gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it all works out. Nikki and Tommy wanted me in the band.
Oh, really?
Yes. They actually wanted me to replace me.
Oh, shit.
Which you can understand that.
Well,
right?
yeah, you were the hot guitar player. You're in LA.
Fucking
You're
better
like
looking, fucking better player.
Yeah.
They wanted me to play Smith. Mick's, whatever it was, in-law, whatever, was funding the band. And so that didn't happen.
That didn't work.
That didn't happen. And then it was like maybe 2 guitar players. Which even then I was like, Motley Crue, 2 guitar. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
No.
And Mick obviously not. So anyway, it kind of started with that. Because there was that thing going.
Yeah.
Whether somebody denies it or not, that's what started the rift between me and Mick. Then
there's a rift between you and Mick?
There was.
Yeah.
There
because,
was?
Because of that.
Really know.
Because of that.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then Motley's opening for Ozzy, which I'm not saying I had a big deal to do with it, but I remember Sharon saying, "This Motley Crue, what do you think about opening?" And go ahead. I got this. I got it. What do you think about opening? I said, "Fucking Motley Crue. I think they're going to be the next big deal." Anyway, so Motley Crue's opening for us now, and at one point, I'm out partying with I think it was Tommy. It might have been Vince. Who knows? Whoever Mick's roommate was. And we go back to the room, and Mick is in his pajamas, and he's very upset that us. It was with Ratt too. I remember Robin was there, Stephen was there. While going to the room and let's go. And Mick, being the old man, as everybody joked about, was like, he made a complaint. I don't know. I'm not sure what I said. I think I just called him the old man. Shut up. And he did look over at me and said, "At least I'm not a slant-eyed Japanese bastard." And I did not like that. Did not like it. Hadn't heard it actually since I was in grade school. The whole slant-eyed fucking Japanese thing, and it pissed me off.
I don't blame you.
I walked over. I was gonna beat the fuck out of him, and it was Robin Crosby, who's 6'5". Fucking came up behind me, picked me up, and said, "Come on, Jake. None of that shit matters." And he carried me out of the room. So there's a story, and you know what? I like Mick. We made up after that, and the fact that he called me that, I don't think he's so much racist as he was gonna attack me because I was younger, better looking.
He was pissed.
Better.
How do you think
How
do you think he found out that they were interested in replacing him?
I don't know. But you know, and it's an interesting look at what would Motley Crue have been if I was the guitar player. I would have. I'm not even necessarily saying it would be better. Mick, nothing against Mick. Mick, great tone, fucking good rhythm, good solid. Probably what Motley needed to be big.
Right.
They wouldn't have been as big.
You never know.
Musically, they might have been better.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm just talking.
Hey, that's an interesting story. So I have another question for you from Peter Lasses.
All right, let's do questions. Yeah, my answers is way too long. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll shoot them out to you. What was your gear that you used in Badlands?
Oh shit. Yeah, stuff. Really? That's the question.
Your gear you used, were they stock plexis or were they did you use an overdrive pedal or?
No, it's like 800s, right? I think. Basically, Marshall 800s.
I know Dave's got to get back to the
I think I'm gonna go home.
What?
I think I'm gonna go home.
Why?
Because they think I'm a hooker down there. They think I'm a hooker. You've been talking for 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is lovely, because it pays my bills.
Do you want some money? Is that what you're saying?
No, maybe. No. I just think I'm gonna go home and maybe Uber home.
Okay.
Well, no, you're just...
No, I was just like talking to her.
We can end the show if
No,
you have
it's
to.
bad. I have been approached like 5 times, not in a good way.
For how much?
No, it's been bad. It's been really weird. Where then I'm like trying to play Keno and then
You're hot.
yeah. Well, I know that, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's just been bad. So it's okay. Keep working.
It's okay.
You go home. How am I supposed to?
You Uber it.
Over home. I'll even Uber. I can't call you over home.
Uber. Yeah.
Well,
No, it's
I'll call you over home.
What's still going on?
Shit. I'll call you over home.
And it's so
Not
funny.
home.
No, 2 different people.
My wife's
2
been
different
accused of
people
being a hooker.
text me. 2 different people text me and are like, "Hey, is that you in the background?" When I was sitting on the bed, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I need to go back to the bar. I need to go back to it."
No, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, but no. I just think
Should I
Sup?
should I stop the interview?
it's cool. Like I said.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
You're not going nowhere. Come on. It's not even 9.
That was the ultimate goal. That back, you know.
Start getting prices. That's all I'm saying.
See how much you can make.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money during this
Oh,
interview.
yeah.
It's not been
And then you
hard.
bring them up here,
Bang
take
them
the
out.
money.
No.
You don't even have to work for
I'm
it.
not that girl. I'm not that girl. But I'm just saying, it's just been very uncomfortable. Where I'm not usually, I don't
So-
usually run into that.
All right, let's get to questions. All right.
We answer the last question.
Andy Burns wants to
Oh.
know, what was it like living with Warren DeMartini before you were both successful?
Very weird. He's very touchy dealing.
He has the Uber app and he has the-
He's one of my best friends. You know, what was it like? It was fun.
Yeah,
it was,
it was
It was
cool.
wonderful. Yeah, it's like
Sometimes it should be.
Gotcha.
living with your best friend.
Right.
Yeah. Me and Warren were such good friends for such a long time. No, I cherish the days that we lived together and hung out, and I still do cherish the days that we hang out. I don't know how to answer that.
No,
other
that's
than
awesome. That's cool.
It was as good as it could be to hang out with your best friend.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've got another question from Robin Hansen. He says, "What gear did you use on the Ultimate Sin tour?"
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of people want to know, what you used.
Gear.
So,
Uh,
I'm just a guy that just got involved.
You don't remember?
Same shit.
Same
Well,
CCM
it's
100?
obviously my guitars, and it was into you know what? Thinking back on it, I think that was JCM 800 Marshalls
Mhm.
for the Ultimate Sin. I think actually the Badlands show was probably the 900s. Now that I think about it, and other than that, pedals, basically that guitar, that amp, and both of them would have been cabinets loaded with Electro Voice EVL EV12L, 300-watt speakers. They were very loud. It was a very loud motherfucker back then.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, that's what one of the questions that he had said about the speakers that you were using too.
Yeah, EV12Ls, which I left behind when I wasn't in Ozzy, and then Zach discovered the cabinet that I played through, and loved those speakers. And now they're what? Black Label Society speakers. I don't know. You're welcome, Zach.
Do you read music? That was a question from John Sims. Do you read? Can you read?
Only if I have to.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes. I read music. Not like a sight read, but yeah.
Okay.
From time I was 6 until I was 16, I played piano and entered
Read.
fucking competitions, Beethoven competitions and all that shit. Yeah, you have to know how to read.
Mhm.
I can read. Sight reading, it's not a big thing with me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done it in a while.
But yeah, I can read music. I write music.
So we have another question. James Thomas says, "What happened with the Bourgeois Pigs project?" Bourgeois Pigs project? How am I saying
Bourgeois
it?
Pigs.
Am I saying
Yeah,
that
that's
right?
all that. I don't know what that is.
Why not? Shit. You know, that was basically Michael Guy.
Oh,
That
I
was-
know that name.
Yeah, he was
He
in.
was in Jafria. Right?
Okay.
Jafria.
It's funny how that says Jafria. Yeah, he was. It was his project. He had money. He was doing well when a lot of people weren't at that point in time. I think it was Michael Guy. It was me. It was Richard Black. Is that his name?
Yeah.
From Shark
Think so.
Island.
Oh, yeah. No, Shark Island still exists.
Really?
With, no, not.
It's Richard Black. Anyway, and there was also Tony Franklin on bass, and but we never really all got together at the same time. It was all put together as piecemeal, and it was Michael Guy's project, and it was doing well. We were doing some interesting stuff.
Michael Guys, yes.
But he was also way into the. This would have been like what, 19. Shit. I'm not sure. Right around 2000, give or less. You know, but he was smart enough to get early into the whole internet thing, and without, making myself sound stupid, he had the whole underground access. Anyway, he was into that. He could go either way. Pursue the music or this whole brand new internet thing, and he chose the right thing, and to make money, and abandon the whole Bourgeois Pigs thing, which probably would have been pretty cool, but need to make a buck,
Right.
whatever.
Gotcha. All right. And then the other question from James Thomas was, will Jake ever release the Wicked Alliance material?
Sure. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Sure.
And
I release it. I don't know. Did a couple of things. It's out there. It's not like I'm holding on to it and denying access. It's whatever we did is out there. Yeah.
let's talk about why you can't get Badlands albums on iTunes.
I don't know. Yeah, people ask that. I just don't fucking know. Makes no sense to me.
It's weird.
I've heard excuses about Ray having had, AIDS and his victims, whatever. I've heard all that shit. None of that makes sense to me. I don't know.
I heard Eddie Trunk talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
And he said it was because of Ray's family. That's what he was saying, but I don't know if that's true.
None of it makes sense to me. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
bottom line is, I don't know. Seems like it should be, but whatever. I don't fucking care because it makes it more underground. Like,
harder to get.
You can't get Badlands shit. Oh, really? So for me, it's whatever. I don't
You're
know.
gonna open a chip?
Seriously, I don't know. I don't know why. It would make sense for that shit to be available. But
It should be available. It definitely should be available. All right, more questions. Dave, did you happen
I
to see?
didn't look at any questions at all.
Okay.
Oh, these are yummy.
That's good.
I've got
Salt and
other
pepper?
I've got other questions here. So let's talk about the
Kettle chips.
can we talk about the signature amp with Dave? So when's
What about it?
when's that coming out, Dave?
Well, we need to finish it.
Okay.
I'd like to get that out as soon as possible, actually. And
I don't really care.
you don't care?
It'll come out soon enough.
How much money would you like?
Not about the
And
money.
in what time frame?
Not about the money. We'll get it right.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm gonna come back. I'm leaving for Japan in a week,
you're going to try what I had in Japan.
which is different. You said.
It's different.
All right.
The high gain. The other
The
channel's the
second
same.
I love the first.
I know. I don't want to change that.
All right.
Second channel is different. Use it on the lower gain setting like I had on the other one.
And when would you use the
Because-
second channel? Like what kind of? When would you
Lead
switch to the higher
stuff.
lead stuff? Is when you go to the higher gain stuff?
No.
Or more.
Depends on
Gainy?
the song.
Hmm.
You know, basically what I'm looking for, I'll say, and off the top of my head, first channel, I want to be Paul Costa.
Yes!
Right? Like that. First channel, I want to be Paul Costa. I want all that entailed. Second channel, I say early Judas Priest. You like both of
I like both. Thank you. You know, the funny thing is I'm working with, well, this doesn't matter, actually, because it's not the original guys, but I'm working with Richie Faulkner,
Oh.
who replaced K.K. Downing originally. And then when Glenn had his health issues, the guy that's replacing him, well, obviously it's the guy that did the record, but
I don't know his
but
name.
Richie, I saw Richie a few years ago, right after KK Downing left, and Richie was badass.
That
He was
guy's
a good
he's
guy.
an amazing player.
He was an amazing player, and I'm like going, this is the fight and fire Judas Priest needs right now.
Yeah.
You know, like this is the young, well, slightly younger, not that much younger, but slightly younger fire that they need right now.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I'm like going, forget about KK Downing. I'm just like way past that already. I'm like going, yeah.
This is
he's
the new. This is
fucking
it.
badass, man.
He's the Russian.
He's fucking got the aggression and the fucking thing. And we became friends, and so he's coming on this Friday actually.
Yeah, it's an epic
After
week.
you.
An epic week.
We get an epic week here.
Fuck it.
But
Show me a picture. Let me make fun of his fucking.
you want to make fun of him someday? Sure, it's
Kind of.
fine.
Hey, we've got a question.
You know, he's English actually, so
He's English. He's
he will
uncircumcised.
he will find that funny. Wait, and he is maybe marrying George Lynch's daughter,
Oh, shit.
Mariah.
Oh, really? He's dating her?
You know Mariah? You know Mariah?
Yeah. Well, that just got weird. Mariah is uncircumcised.
Maybe.
That just
Who
got
knows?
even weirder. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know.
You know Mariah?
That just got weird.
Well, Mariah lives here.
Yeah, she lives in Vegas, right? Yeah.
I'm not gonna hang with her. I mean, come on.
Hey, Dave, there's one question I got for you here because
What?
this was a super chat. He says,
For me?
yes, Dave and Marc,
Oh.
been watching Tone Talk since last August. This is from Marc Bostic. Tone Talk since last August. Since then, I have bought a Run 20 plus a cab, a Run 50, 3 Friedman pedals, and 4 Tone Talk shirts. How do I explain?
Great.
How do I explain this to my wife?
You don't. You don't. You just go, I'm sorry.
That's all you do.
I'm happy you bought all that stuff.
Start digging a little hole in the basement.
Yeah.
And just prepare for it.
I'm sorry you bought all this stuff, but you know, shit.
We appreciate
Oh, well.
it. We appreciate it. Let's go to some other questions.
God,
So-
I feel like a weirdo. I see me something there.
Mm.
Anyway,
What,
what I look
Jake-
like is a
You were
master
fine.
fisherman. I want
Master
some fishing.
fisherman?
Yes, I want some fishing questions.
It could be with the beard and the little thing and thing.
Can you tell us? This is from Murray Bulger. What kind of players are you into these days? What kind of music are you listening to?
Shit. Current. Anything?
These days. You know what? I still listen to the old shit that I've always listened to. I will say Samantha Fish
Oh yeah, she could. Yeah.
has nice legs.
Yeah.
She does have nice legs. But their playing is very. I like her playing. I like Samantha Fish. I like There's so many people. Junior. What's his name? Gil something. Come on. Help me out.
Gil.
What band?
Who knows? Nobody knows. I'm an old guy.
You know, here's
I
the
know
thing.
what I'm talking about. I can look on my.
If you ask me that same question, I will have nothing.
Well, I have
That's
nothing.
hard to-
I have nothing new.
I have nothing. I have nothing new.
You know what?
I have nothing new, and I could be wrong with this. Okay, I could be. You know what? I would venture to say, Sammy, help me, because
Who is Zachary Kibbe?
I have no idea.
Kibbe? Well, I recently downloaded him.
I would have you know. Someone
I do
younger.
like Samantha Fish.
Okay.
She's an honest fucking blues player,
Yeah,
and she's adventurous. I like the shit she does.
I'll agree with that.
Here's a good question.
Like, not far from that is Jeff Beck Truth. So,
Well,
you know.
Jeff Beck, that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, do a little album.
huh?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought you were gonna say
They
something.
were jamming. They were jamming. They had a few jams together, and they're just like they're gonna do something.
No,
All right,
but you know, they're very good friends.
they should.
Very good friends.
I
So,
know.
Jake, we had a question from Pooh Ninja. He wants to know what's the best bait
Wait.
for Pooh
Pooh Ninja.
Pooh Ninja.
Pooh Ninja.
What's the
Okay.
best bait for lake trout?
What?
Is this going
What's
into
the best
fishing
bait
thing?
for lake
You,
trout?
you wanted some fishing questions.
Do you fish?
You know what? Scotch.
There you go.
How's that?
Wait. Do
Scotch.
you fish?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so
I
that's
will.
fucking
I
bullshit.
do fish, but I don't catch anything, and I haven't done it in a while. But Scotch. So the answer is always Scotch.
There you go. Perfect. Let's see. There was another question about another album. I know you already answered that. Coyote Vasquez. I know it's too soon, but will there be another album? He seems to enjoy this tour a lot.
Coyote. I think
Come on.
it's pronounced Coyote.
Mm.
I want to badger you to make another album.
And you think that's gonna make a good album?
No,
Badgering
I
me.
think that putting you in the room with great guys is gonna make a good album.
I don't see it not being in the future, but there is no plans. It's
Come on,
it's really all about the
chemistry,
muse.
right?
It's about the muse. Yeah.
It's chemistry.
If put me out in the middle of the desert, which is what I love about Vegas. put me out in the middle of the desert. Here you go. With a Friedman amp.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, you're classic.
And my guitar. Fucking loud. And a band. And see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The magic, it's still all about the art and the magic. If that happens, I'll do another album. But I'm not going to push it.
Okay.
It happens or it doesn't.
This question intrigues me. So Otis Spunkmeyer asks, I hear Jake is a watch collector. What kind of watch is he wearing now?
Are you a watch collector? Oh, you are.
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Rolex?
It's Tudor.
Tudor.
No,
Oh,
Tudor.
Those are nice.
Rolex. Although there is some Rolexes, the Pepsi,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have. But
What do you like about Rolex?
I'm going there. The thing I don't like about Rolex is that Yngwie thinks that they're the fucking shit. So
Come on.
Him and his gold Rolex.
if Yngwie thinks they're the shit, then there's something wrong with them. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, shit.
But that's my main problem with Rolexes. Other than
Yngwie?
they don't.
Is your main problem?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yngwie has
like it.
destroyed the Rolex brand. It is a Tudor, and there's so many other watches I would.
I'm a Breitling fan.
Breitling, that's awesome.
Those are nice
You know,
watches.
Anthony has one.
Oh yeah.
They're good watches. Shit, what's the Italian one? Starts with a P. Fuck.
Oh, Patek?
What?
No, Patek Philippe? No.
No, not French.
Well, no, I think that's Swiss, actually. Patek Philippe might be Swiss. I'm not sure.
Diving watches.
Panerai.
Shit.
Panerai.
Yes. I always wanted one of those. Wink, wink.
I'm not getting it for you.
And they've made but they've
I
always
love
been
watches,
so big.
though.
Do you?
Yeah, I do love watches.
You're not even
I
wearing
don't
it.
have one, but
I mean,
I
he
love
says
it.
he loves watches.
I'm not wearing
He's
one
not
either.
even wearing
I'm
them.
sure.
I normally wear one.
Both of you guys.
I normally wear one.
Normally. Yeah,
But I'll make you an app.
Normally I'm with women. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Whatever you
Yeah,
guys say.
exactly. You have no proof. That's just funny.
Panerai, they have a 38 millimeter. They just came out with. Work perfectly on my wrist. I'm just saying.
They're nice.
Next question.
Next question. All right. Okay.
I like you.
Mithiel Guitar says the ice cream truck story has to be brought up.
Ice cream strip story.
But
What's that?
why does it have to be brought up?
I don't
It's
know.
been told.
It's
What,
been
you
told.
don't even know about
I
it?
don't know the story. No.
I even don't know the story.
What's the story?
It kind of
What'd you do?
it was kind of my turning point. Yeah, I was living in Vegas, and what would this be? 2000. Not even sure, but it's before the whole Red Dragon Cartel thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just on my own, living in a fucking trailer in North Las Vegas, which, if you know Vegas, not a good
Sounds so
part
good.
of town.
Mm.
But yeah, Sunday morning, watching TV, I hear an ice cream truck. I'm like, shit, I want some ice cream, you know. And so I fucking walk
Typical.
out the door, fucking ice cream, you know, as usual. It's way down the fucking block. I'm like, oh fuck you, I'm getting ice cream. I don't care how far you go. So I'm chasing after it. Cuts a corner. I realize if I jump this fence, where there's the aqueduct or whatever, I can cut it off. So I do it, but I jump too far. End up breaking my back, shattering my heel.
Oh God.
I'm down at the bottom of this thing, and all because I wanted ice cream. I'm down there. I'm down there for a while. I start thinking about life, as you would do in such a situation. And I realize I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything with my life. What do I have to offer? Music. But I'm not doing anything there either. And that was the turning point where I said, okay, either I need to do something, like contribute music, not even make money at it, just fucking put it out there.
Contribute your crowd.
Or just fucking curl up in a little ball at the bottom of this fucking concrete fucking crevice and just say, yeah, I'm done. And that was the turning point for me. And Kevin Churko's offer came not long after that. Where, yeah, what am I going to... Am I going to do anything?
Glad you chose that.
No, and why wouldn't you? I mean, yeah.
Glad you chose that.
But it was a painful decision.
Well,
it broke my back and shattered my heel.
Wow.
To get to that,
I
to get to
understand.
that point.
It was bottom.
But that was bottom, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Sign,
I guess. Yeah.
Whatever it was, I mean, it was a sign, like you said, Dave.
Well, it was bottom for you to
But it's
decide
all
to
about
go,
chasing
I'm
an
gonna
ice
do
cream
this.
truck.
Yeah, well,
Which is
shit,
that's
fucking bullshit.
That's
but-
what makes it weird.
Yeah.
All about chasing the ice cream.
So here's another question. Official Kevin Holdren, who will replace Phil Varone for the second leg of the tour?
Oh shit. There is no. See, Phil. I don't think he was very distinct about what he meant.
He will still go, right?
He's good to go.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
He's good to go for the rest of the fucking touring cycle.
He loves this album, and he loves the band. We all get along great. It's working well. Once this is over, he's done, and I get it. He
It's
doesn't-
old. Well, it's painful for a drummer. Come on.
Sure, whatever. He's got other options. He's got options, and touring. Well, with him, he had to tour the Bullet Boys, Marc Turine. That
That's
has
a
to
whole
be
fucking
painful.
painful.
That has to be painful. And everybody else.
I
He's
have a
done
drummer
with
that's
touring.
there now.
He's
Painful.
done with touring, but this is working right now. He's in until we're done, and so there is no. I'm not thinking of replacements. He's good to go until this tour is over, and
Gotcha.
so far it's not over. It might be
No.
quick over.
I hope not. We'll see.
Let's hope not. We got a question from Vincent Moretti.
I think.
What does Jake?
More to do.
He's got more to do. What does Jake think about the current state of rock and roll? Is it dead? Can it come back?
Oh shit! Oh, that's a sensitive
that's a
one.
fucking.
That's a sensitive
Yeah.
one. Shit. That's a sensitive one.
No, you
Go ahead
answer.
and answer,
No,
Jake.
you answer. You answer. You were named.
And I don't like getting hammered about this, but yeah, I think rock is kind of it's not done. It's not done, but it has seen
Better days.
its highlights.
Mm.
Every music will peak.
Maybe
And then-
come back.
Yeah, but never to the point where it was.
Mhm.
And look at jazz.
Yeah.
Fucking
Of
love
course.
jazz. But swing, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
Fucking swing. And then
Oh,
and
God,
then
yeah.
it goes on into other various
Fucking from Detroit.
who listens to
Know that.
jazz now? I do. I mean, and other people do, but it's not what it was
No.
in the 30s.
No.
Obviously. Doo-wop was huge in the fucking late 50s.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Where is it now? Nowhere. It's all these things. Fucking R&B in the fucking 60s. Motown. You have your where it's in your prime. And rock has lasted a long time. Compared to everything else, you know, it's lasted a long time, but eventually and eventually it just becomes another part of music and not the big thing. I don't honestly don't think, and I would love to be proven wrong. I honestly don't think that rock is going to be the ubiquitous fucking presence it was again. And should it? We've heard rock. We've heard all the fucking variations of rock, and it's been awesome. We need to eventually we'll find another way, and yeah, I don't know. It's not a good answer. It's not a.
It's hard to answer. It's hard.
It's hard
It's
to
awful,
answer.
awful answer.
But it's you know, rock has seen its heyday, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's dead, but it will become like what jazz is now.
Oh boy.
People love it, and it's an awesome music form, but it's not going to be the popular art form.
Right. Okay.
Well, that made me sad. Give me a better
It
question.
made me sad. We
Here,
don't have any fucking-
here's a good one.
Can't even have booze left to.
Dutchie 5150. Jake, any plans for a live DVD release?
Huh. No, I've been asked. Holy shit, you're replacing fucking
Beer with
really good
I'm
scotch
replacing
with...
scotch with beer. Michelada.
Oh, wait a minute.
Michelada.
Oh, well, I like chiladas.
You like chilada?
Chiladas. I do love
Okay,
chiladas.
well, it's good. Then you have some.
I prefer chiladas.
Oh.
Although I ordered it in a bar in Imperial Beach, and every mean-looking motherfucker looked at me like I was some kind of pussy.
Well, you're not a pussy. So
I said, hey, have you had one lately?
You're in a hotel, so
I said, have you had one lately?
now
And
they
a couple of the
now they
bikers were
fucking
like,
sell them.
oh, no.
That's funny. Here, we got a super chat. Oh, sorry.
I don't even remember what the question was.
Cheers.
What was the question? I don't even
Some
know.
Stupid problem.
I like Micheladas.
So, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to run to the restroom.
It's not
Scotch,
but
super chat question. Please rant about modelers.
About modelers, you mean?
Like the Kemper.
Kemper, fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit.
I'll be right back.
Bullshit, fake shit. Fuck this. Dude, there's a part of music that has to be played at a certain volume. I'm not saying necessarily Jakey Lee volume. But at least at a moderate volume to attain the right interaction between the guitar and the amp. And the problem with modelers, generally speaking, is yes, okay, it can sound relatively like the source. Yeah. But it has no vibe, soul, or anything.
Vibe, soul, and I will say magic.
Magic.
You will never get that with a modeler.
Never.
I've played through it, and it's like, oh, it sounds
pretty good, but
you will never get that fucking the magic.
The magic.
The magic.
Yeah.
And I'm all
With the real
about,
thing.
which I think you've understood now,
I would compare
modeling to fake
modeling
tits.
to those really good-looking Japanese fucking sex mannequin
Oh,
robot.
well,
things.
okay, that's close enough.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not bad. I assume. It's not bad, you know.
Maybe.
It's better than jerking off, but it ain't the real thing.
Right. It's just not.
Some people, some
I
people,
assume.
some people,
I want to make that. Really
some people just say it's just not like the real thing.
It's not.
It isn't.
No.
And
At low volumes.
can
might
it
sound
get
good.
close at low volumes and stuff? Yes. Okay, it can.
And it's
You know what?
awesome
And-
for
and can it-
somebody just
Can
trying
it
to
just
get a
basically get
Yeah.
that thing? Yes. But
tone. But it's not the thing.
It's not. It's not real tits.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fake tits.
It's fake tits.
It's like, oh,
Fake
look at
tits.
those awesome
That's what-
tits.
The tits
I want
look great,
something
but-
like that,
they're
and then you
fake.
get fake
No,
ones.
that's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the fucking same.
See,
Baby?
yes.
No.
Well,
But I've got a long time with that cigarette.
yeah. We should probably end the show. I don't want to keep you going.
I don't want to end it.
Okay.
What's
I just want to cigarette. Who the fuck is
It's okay.
Who's there?
What you bring upstairs?
How you doing?
My friend,
I don't know. Some dude coming in.
Okay.
some dude coming in.
Some dude.
Cool. All right. So you want to take a cigarette break? You want to take a cigarette break, Jake?
Huh? I don't drink it. You don't drink anymore at all?
Cigarette would be so awesome.
I mean, I'm cool if you want to go take.
I mean, you get a point. I could go out there.
Wow. You're driving.
Depends on him.
take
If I can
take a
put
5-minute break. Go smoke a cigarette. And
I
I'll,
could go. Is that open? Can you open it?
I can open it.
And I
Yeah,
can
we can take a
step
break.
outside
We'll take a
on
break.
the balcony.
We're gonna
have
take a break.
cigarette.
yeah, Dave. We'll ask some questions of you.
5 minutes.
You know, we
Get
have
the
not
questions,
answered enough
like-
questions. It seems
Well,
like
we've
we're
asked
fucking around with
No
questions.
question.
We'll get
I
to.
want to answer questions.
Okay.
Get them all compiled. He's
Um,
gonna smoke.
I will get them all compiled.
Okay, great. Bye.
I'm
I
working
know
on.
what's going on. Mark, help me out.
Help
Hey,
you out.
Jake.
He's giving you a chance to smoke. You can go ahead.
There you go. Stand out there.
And this will be a beautiful cigarette.
Smoke.
Go ahead. Enjoy.
Not really.
There's a
Like
reason
about
for
2
smoking.
feet.
And this is gonna be it. Oh shit! But we're high up. I'm fucking scared of heights.
Oh,
do
you
it.
gotta stand
That's
out
not
there.
very high up.
You don't drink?
No, I quit. It's been like 15, 16 months, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm just gonna go
We're
2
gonna
years.
just drink.
Nice. Yeah.
Nothing got to Jimmy.
I
Oh, well, you smoke weed, so
There you go. Yeah.
No fucking. This guy I grew up with.
This
Friend of, he lives here. Doug.
So guys, we're gonna take a break for a few minutes, as you can see.
Michigan.
But I'm gonna get to some questions here.
What is that?
I know there's a question.
Just stand over there and then we won't even fucking know.
There was a question about this Soldano being released. It's gonna be about 4 to 5 months. That was from Deja Blue.
I don't know. I don't know.
So a few months, like 4 or 5 months. All right. And
Okay.
Tone Talk brought to you by Frito Lay's and the Dr. Phil Show. Thanks, Mark. That's
Right.
Mark.
Okay.
We've got 245 people watching and no guest. So, how's everybody doing?
It's been long. You guys been doing this whole
You don't drink anymore? Shit.
This
What
is
the
rock
fuck,
and roll.
dude?
Someone says this is rock and roll. Yes, it is.
What?
I said someone said this is rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, I smoke too. Don't worry about it.
Just let your friend know we're live.
Who?
Your friend who's talking.
Oh yeah. He knows we're live.
Okay.
He doesn't drink anymore. He's DD. Because well, shit. Oh shit. That's gone.
That's been just during the podcast, huh?
Yeah. And well, this. Oh well, shit.
You guys are
That
almost
one
out.
too.
It's almost time to make a run.
We're going downstairs.
Reza, are you saying for me to back off the mic? I'm just annoying Reza. Sorry.
This is Doug, everyone.
What's up, Doug?
Oh, are we live?
We're live, actually.
Shit.
Doug is an old friend of mine from when I was in high school.
That's right.
Cool.
Grew up jamming.
He had a band,
We
Section
all had-
8.
We all had bands.
That's cool. So, Dave, when is the Soldanos coming out?
I don't know.
Okay. I said 4 to 5 months.
Next several 4 to 5 months.
Okay.
That'll be safe.
Thrifty Flipside says Dave drank enough for everyone tonight.
I did? No, I didn't.
Oh, that's so funny.
I think Jake was the same.
Dave, any new overdrive or distortion pedals in the works from Dirty Apes?
Not currently.
Music Therapy Laz says, yes, this is totally rock and roll. This is one of the best shows ever.
Totally rock and roll. One of the best shows ever. Perfect.
Question for
So
Dave.
if we can't speak by the end of it, is that rock and roll? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Because that's where it's going.
Pete Thorn was in the chat. Pete said, okay, I got to go. I'm happy I experienced this, and I'm scared to see what happens next anyway, so probably time to go.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. I was waiting for Jake in the bar downstairs. So, well, of course, I had a few pints. Well, maybe double pints. 25-ounce, big mugs. So, there you go.
There you go.
That's what happened before we started. Couple of them.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Good night, Vinny. Vinny's leaving.
Vinny, you pussy.
Well, Marc's going to have to call it a night soon, too, because it's almost 1 in the morning.
Who?
Me.
No, pussy.
I know.
No, we have to finish.
So there's a KXM Rock in here. I wonder if that's George Lynch.
No, I doubt it.
No. Okay. That's funny. Charlie S says, start throwing furniture out the window.
Is there a fridge in here?
I don't know where Jake went.
He's there.
No fridge.
He certainly didn't jump off.
All right, let me get him back. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, you okay? No,
Hang on, guys. We're coming back soon.
but it's kind of safe. With the same respect. Yeah, it's still going.
It's still going.
Finish it up.
It's still going. I'm looking. Yeah, Pete had to go. Call up some hookers? Yeah, I'll ask Jake about his mahogany neck. No problem. Once he comes back.
Lynch, Warren, Eddie, Randy, and Vivian Campbell. He was great. Yeah, he did.
Lots of people still here. Sorry that we don't have a guest yet, but I know, right? I should just go to bed and leave this thing running.
Good answer. Good answer.
All right.
Go that way. I'm just trying to stand up straight.
I'm a
little fucking
little
toasted.
ditzy right
You're driving. Careful, dude. You're driving.
All right, so we got a few more questions.
All right. Is this still?
We're still
Smoke
going.
is done.
It's just live shit.
Yep.
People talking. I want to answer more questions.
Yep. Well, we're going to.
What questions we got?
But I was gonna say the difference between me and the other LA guys, I think. And I was thinking about that. I was smoking a cigarette.
Mhm.
I think between all of us, they were more into, say, Gary Moore and Michael Schenker, who are awesome guitar players. Whereas I was more into Johnny Winter and Terry Kath. And I think maybe that's a big difference between me and the other guys. That I just had, oh no, I'm not going to say better choices. Different choices. There's a big difference between Terry Kath and Johnny Winter as compared to Gary Moore and Michael Schenker. And I think, and not to say those were bad choices. Those were excellent choices. But I think my influences were different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
For whatever that's worth.
Here's a question. Johnny Womack, which Ozzy drummer did you prefer?
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's so.
Come on.
Well, Randy was always my choice. Castillo.
Randy Castillo. Oh, interesting.
Because when we auditioned drummers for the second album, we had a big cattle call in LA at Mates rehearsal.
Yeah.
Studios. And we went through tons of drummers. And I'll say this. When we went back to England to try the drummers for real, Ozzy, obviously, for some reason, got the first choice. And his was, what's his name? God damn it. Cinderella.
Fred Curry?
Curry, yes.
Fred Curry.
That was Ozzy's
Good drummer.
choice. And we tried him first. He didn't work out. So we went to Bob Daisley, who was the second senior in the band. And his was, what's his name? He was in Y&T. Grass? No. He's a guitar player. Man, kidding. No, Grass. Grass in his name somewhere?
I don't know his
Shit. I'm old. I forget shit.
name. Y&T drummer.
Jimmy DeGrasso?
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
I knew
He's
Grass
a great
was
drummer.
He
Actually,
is.
he later became Ratt's drummer for a second.
Yeah, he did. He did, yeah.
Um,
No, he's a great drummer. But we brought him in, and that didn't work out. And I remember, so we're talking, me and Bob and Ozzy, like, well, shit, who are we going to get next? And I said, well, there's my choice. And he said, who? And I went, Randy Castillo. And they were like, both of them said, no. I was like, why? You both brought your guys over. They didn't work out. Give me Randy Castillo. And so eventually I said, look, I will fly him out and he'll audition. And if it doesn't work out, I paid the flight. That's how much I believe in Randy Castillo. And
yeah.
And you know what? I didn't have to pay for his flight
Yeah, I bet you didn't.
because he got the fucking gig.
Who was the bass player at the time?
Bob Daisley.
Bob.
Yeah, he was there for the beginning of Ultimate Sin, and then I don't know what happened. You know,
And then it became
the other guy with the girly last name, Soussan.
Phil Soussan.
Yeah.
Which was the nemesis of you, right?
He
Kind of.
Yeah, basically. He
Who
was.
later is now in.
What's he in now?
Well, it's not
Nothing.
place.
Nothing.
Dio, fucking whatever.
You know, I'll say that, you know, Phil Soussan, he got in the band, and we did the first gig, and Ozzy wanted to fire him because he was a little bit fey, let's say.
Fey?
Fey, F-E-Y.
Okay.
And Ozzy didn't like him and wanted to fire him. I talked him out of it. Midway through the tour, he wanted to fire him again. I said, no, let's just stick with Phil. I stuck up for him twice. And then I got fired. And Randy Castillo, who obviously felt like he owed me something, told me that it was Phil that whispered in Ozzy's ear that they didn't need me anymore. That they had a songwriter, Phil Soussan, who wrote Shot in the Dark.
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of.
yeah, that's in debate. But he wrote Ozzy's biggest single and didn't need Jake Lee anymore. And it was Phil Soussan who whispered in Ozzy's ear, you don't need Jake, and got me fired.
So,
And
speaking of that.
And then, what, a month, 2 months later, all of a sudden, Phil's not in the band anymore.
Yeah.
Because I was the guy that protected him. So, you know, fuck him. Fuck him. And he got what he deserved. And after that, what? He was in Billy Idol's band, then he got fired. And that's an interesting story, but basically, he turned into a narc. And he got fired from them. And then he got fired from fucking Vince Neil's band. And then he was in Beggars and Thieves, or Bagels and Cheese, as I like to call him. and then he wasn't in that. You know what? Fuck you, Phil Soussan.
And then, to knock it off, so he was in the Last in Line, which is the original band, right? So Jimmy Bain,
very apropos for Phil Soussan.
Jimmy Bain was in the band, and unfortunately, Jimmy Bain died on a cruise ship.
I like Jimmy.
From complications from pneumonia. And
well, he was a mess. He was
always a mess. His legendary status of being a mess, but he was always the guy that, when it came time to play, he stood up and played. Yeah. And just like going, no matter how fucked up he was, he stood up and played, and he played like a motherfucker.
He was solid.
And
I did one gig with him, when I had Wicked Alliance going, with Mandy Lyon. He was the original bass player. We did one gig in Florida with him. And, yeah, he didn't even know the songs.
No, but he made it work.
No, he would come up to me and say, how does this song start? Now I have to hum it to him. Like, no.
Okay, got it. But he got it, right?
But, yeah, then he was solid. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Always. No matter what, how fucked up it was like, oh, don't worry about him. He's laying down on the stage. I know he's passed out, but he'll stand up and fucking play.
He'll do his part, yeah.
And sure enough, with Dio, he stood up and played. He fucking did his part, did his thing.
Anyway.
Unfortunately, he died on a cruise ship while they were playing. It's a horrible fucking thing.
That is horrible. Hey, I got another question.
And then Phil Soussan came in and filled his place.
Yeah,
so
tried to.
Well, not the same way. I have some good stories about about Jimmy Bain when he was delivering gear in England to Led Zeppelin. And he delivered gear to Led Zeppelin and never returned. He never returned. He just delivered the gear and he never returned. So apparently they found him later partying with Led Zeppelin for like a course of a week. And he never returned. He's like, fuck my job. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm partying with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, shit. I would have done the same thing.
Yep.
So you know.
All right, we got another question, Dave.
Next question.
Go, next question.
Let's do it.
Can we ask Jake about his mahogany neck?
Ooh. You got it.
Well, girls have called it that. Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, she's gone. She left you a long time ago.
Yeah, that's
Energy drink.
there is the Jakey Lee model on Charvel, which was basically based off of the Ozzy guitar, what I had in Ozzy. But for Red Dragon Cartel, they asked me what I wanted, and I had it's the same guitar, but with a 24 3/4 inch neck, which is Gibson scale, and a mahogany neck on the fender body, and ebony fingerboard, which there was no real reasoning behind that other than I wanted to be weird, but it works out really well. It I do like the sound of the guitar. It's my main guitar on stage. I don't like going to other guitars. I will go. Oh shit! This will probably get me in trouble. I will go to the Blueburst that they gave me. New production. I don't like the way it sounds.
Well, it's totally different. Different guitar.
It is. It's totally different.
Different
guitar.
pickup. Different
But
everything.
my preference right now is the Jakey Lee stage model with the mahogany neck, ebony fretboard, Gibson frets up to the 12, Fender frets after that, so you can get more wood under your fingers. And I love the sound of that. And I think they're talking about coming out with that, the stage version.
That's super
the
cool.
New version.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing that, where they have thicker frets and then thinner frets as you go down the neck. That's interesting.
And it makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the big frets feels really good up to a point, and then once you get up at the 17th fret and shit, it's a lot of metal, not a lot of wood, and I think it makes a difference.
All the choices you have made with your guitars over the years makes sense. It's
The pickup angle.
pickup angle,
Yeah.
everything makes sense.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does.
So
My stage setup with the V. With the
That
V
makes sense too.
cabinets
Total sense.
Makes total
Yeah,
sense.
punish the singer.
Because and not stand. I don't know.
Punish the fucking singer.
I know I'm not the only one, but when you stand right in front of your speakers, it doesn't sound as good as when you go over to the side and you hear them coming off that way.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Yeah.
they sound deeper and not as brittle. It totally made sense to me, and I did it. I don't think anybody else did it before that. I've heard of other people doing it since and not giving me credit. Akira Takasaki.
Yes, he does it.
Maybe.
He might have been doing it. Well, I don't know.
What?
It's questionable when he started doing it.
When did he start?
I have no idea.
After me. That's when he started. Doing
Maybe.
it.
That's funny.
He used to buy amps too.
So we had a
Okay.
question. Jake, when did you first get a Charvel? When did you first pick up your first Charvel?
Well,
First
that was
Charvel.
the first Charvel was kind of Wasn't a Charvel, it was a Fender, right?
Yeah, they modified my Fender Strat back in '81, maybe.
So who was that? Grover
'Cause,
Jackson? Grover Jackson did that?
Well, I when I moved up to LA in 1980, my roommate worked at Charvel as a painter, and at that point, my Fender was a Sunburst. It looked like a Strat, and that was not cool in LA in 1980. So he said, for my birthday, he said, I'll paint it. And he painted it, and they cut down, they did all kinds of shit to it that I wasn't even aware of. Cut down the headstock so it wouldn't be a big headstock like what it was. So that was, and then they took off the fender off the headstock, put Charvel, but it was still a Fender, really. After that, once I got an Ozzy, I could get shit.
Right.
Grover was like,
Yeah, I went to Charvel and said, hey, can I have some more guitars? And I went, oh, yeah. Interestingly enough,
by the way, Grover
I went to
says
Boss Pedals, because I was using Boss Pedals. I said, hey, I'm an Ozzy Osbourne. Can I get some free pedals? And they went, oh, no, we don't do that.
They still don't do that.
Yeah.
Really?
Still. to this
Well,
day.
props to them then.
They still are.
But I was like, holy
They
shit.
still-
Wait a minute. Let me say that again.
But I
I'm
recently
an
saw.
Ozzy Osbourne. Do I have to pay $100 for each pedal, really? They're
But I
like,
recently
"Oh,
saw someone that bought. You had a Boss switching system for Ozzy,
oh, shit, yeah.
right? Remember
Yeah.
that Boss switching
Yeah,
system?
I do.
I recently saw someone that bought your Boss switching system,
Yeah. Because I remember it gave
and
it
he
to
was like,
somebody.
yeah, someone sold it for a lot of money.
It wasn't worth it.
no, but someone sold it for a bunch of money, and some guy was like, "Hey, this is Jake Lee's from
It
the tour,
would have
and
been-
this thing,
yeah,
blah blah blah."
It
blah,
would have been
blah."
the one I used.
And it was. I mean, from all like visuals that I saw, I was like, probably, yeah.
And yeah, I remember giving it to
Yeah.
somebody. But yeah, there was a delay. You had to time it. You had to time it right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to switch from here to there.
There's much more advanced
Yeah.
systems now that
Yeah.
you can use that will
Yeah.
do the same thing. That will,
But if that's what they want.
that won't be the same thing.
Next question.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm
Any
looking.
paid questions?
I look for. We got all the paid questions.
Paid question.
Okay, here's one. Joseph Dean has. Is there any artists, or are there any artists that you would like to work with or make great music that you haven't?
Oh,
Well, Prince, but you said that. But
No, yeah.
He's
I was
dead.
asked that recently. Bowie would have been a huge one. Dead. Prince.
dead.
So if I was to actually say somebody, they would die. And I don't want to do that. No. You know what? Pete
Who-
Townsend.
God, that would be
Pete
great.
Townsend. Because he's
That
an
would be
awesome
great.
songwriter. And his rhythm playing, I've always respected.
Oh my God, that's great.
I'm sure there's other people, but Townsend Springs, Page.
Oh well.
But I'm talking about guitar players now, where am I really needed?
Any singers or?
Singers.
That's rough.
No, I would be more interested in doing more oddball stuff. I like if Sting said, "Hey, play some guitar for me," I'd be like, "Yeah," just to see what happens. Sting.
I think that's great. Like
trying to say something. What?
old too.
What?
I'm old too.
Forgetting what you're saying. Let's see.
You know, it's hard for me to
interesting
single out
musical,
anybody.
interesting musical
Anything that would
composition
yes.
that
Yes.
would.
Anything that's
Pete
interesting.
Townsend, God, that's fucking great.
But Townsend is
I love.
one of my.
Well, you mentioned this before. You love the Who, right?
Oh yeah.
So I agree. I love the Who. I've loved the Who forever. And Pete Townsend, everything he does, even the lead lines that he does, are unbelievable to me. Like, just so musical.
Not so much
You
Guitar
can't-
Hero, but music.
No, not Guitar Hero.
Yeah, he's never been much of the
Just like Page. Someone. So
And I was thinking,
there's a guitar player,
Shut up.
Toshi.
Shut up. I was just thinking, like, fairly recently, the bands that I would listen to, the Who,
Mm-hmm.
the Rolling Stones,
Yep.
the Beatles,
Okay.
even Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
I never listened to them to hear the guitar solo.
No,
It was
you
about
heard the song.
Fucking music.
Yeah.
It was about guitar, but how the guitar interplays with the song, and and I will say Zeppelin as a big one because Jimmy Page was a guitar hero, but you didn't listen to Zeppelin songs
For the guitar.
for the
You
guitar
listened
solo.
For the guitar.
You know,
You listen to it for
was
the
there
music.
guitar solos?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but that's not why you were listening. to it.
So,
And that's always been my thing. It's about the song. It's
Guitar
about the
player-
music.
Toshi Inagi. I could be wrong with this. He plays in Jimmy Kimmel's band. Amazing guitar player, but he never listened to Led Zeppelin. He was.
What?
No. He was more Richie Blackmore.
Oh,
He's
Blackmore.
Japanese. So
Huh.
he was more Richie Blackmore, and he loved Richie Blackmore. And so recently he was starting to listen to Jimmy Page more. Because he had to learn some songs for something he was doing or something. And he was like, I don't understand. He goes, I love Richie Blackmore. I love these
understand
artists,
that.
and I love that. He goes, I don't totally get Jimmy Page. And he goes,
See, I feel the
I
opposite.
go-
I feel the opposite way. I don't really get
I go,
Richie
he goes,
Blackmore.
he's sloppy. He's sloppy. And I go, well, that's the magic. Right there. The sloppy is the magic.
It's rock and roll.
As my friend put, the swagger of Jimmy Page
Yes.
is the bam.
Swagger is the
You just
the big
swagger.
word, yes.
That's a good word,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
That's a good
And if
word.
you don't understand the swagger, you're not going to understand the whole
yeah.
music.
And it's fucking rock and
But
roll.
he's Japanese, so it's
And
just
it-
not
and
different.
it's like
thing.
Joe
It's a
Perry.
different thing.
It's like Joe Perry, or even going back to Johnny. Fuck. God, I am so old. I can't remember names. New York Dolls. Johnny Thunders.
Johnny Thunders.
Johnny Thunders. Was he a great guitar player? No.
No,
But he fucking.
but he had the
fucking
attitude.
owned it.
Mhm.
He owned it, and he great.
There
talent.
is the thing.
Yes.
And like I was trying to explain to him, I'm going, it's the feel, it's the vibe, it's the whole thing. It's like Jimmy Page Jimmy Page on record is perfect. Okay, but Jimmy Page live is sloppy.
sloppy
But
with
the
moments.
swagger of Jimmy Page
and
live,
with moment
and like the moments of
the
the
live thing,
of the
was it
stuff
no
was
quarter?
amazing.
It might have
And-
been
and,
no
you know,
quarter
you
one.
can't-
He just all of a sudden,
You know,
bang, like holy shit, that
Yeah.
was some fucking guitar playing.
yeah.
And
And
it's
you
the
can't
moments.
ever put Jimmy Page in a fucking
No, and he
You
wrote
can't
that
ever.
fucking music. He wrote those fucking
to parts,
beautiful
the
chord
crazy parts.
He's huge on my
Yeah.
where my rhythm playing is.
And
the
I
fucking
said,
chords and the
I said,
Yeah, everything.
I showed Toshi. I go, look at this. So that O2 concert they did, you know, in recent times, it's on the internet, and you watch it, and you're just like, the power off the stage, even with Jason Bond, the power off the stage, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's epic.
And you just, God, it's like, you know, you're just like, oh my God, there it is. Oh my God, my hairs on my arms are up, you know,
and then you're talking about music versus guitar virtuosity, and what's more important. To me, it's the music.
It's the music, yeah.
It's the music. I mean, compare Jimmy Page with Jeff Beck. Fucking Jeff Beck is the most awesome fucking rock guitar player of all time. Jimi Hendrix, you know, you can weigh those two. But with music,
the thing Page does that's
with music
is like,
I would so much rather be
with Page.
I would rather have written Kashmir.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking all those songs. 10 years. I mean, it's music.
That's why.
That is the basis.
Yeah.
That's what
everything.
That's what pisses me off about when people are like, "Oh, Led Zeppelin stole all this and blah blah blah." Like, come on. Yeah, all right.
Come on, man.
They stole a few blues things,
stole
but
what?
you know, I mean, when it comes
Let's
to
do blues things from a blues artist, but
yeah, I mean, you listen to Physical
So does
Graffiti.
everyone.
There's not one song on Physical Graffiti that's stolen from anybody, at least from my knowledge, and it's just amazing music.
Yeah.
Amazing music.
And the musicality, the soul, it's so much more than somebody going up on stage and look at him move his fingers. Fuck that shit.
Right.
I appreciate it. I love it. Obviously, I'm a guitar player, but it's the music. It's the music.
And you would love going to see Jimmy Page play this shit more so than anyone else.
Yes.
In fact, you would probably just do anything you could to be there to watch it. Right?
And I said it before. There was a point in my life where I would say, "Oh yeah, Jimmy Page, sloppy, fucking." But I never denied the music, and it took me a while.
Sloppy, but
there's a good sloppy.
there's a
and
melody.
it works in rock and roll.
Thing.
Ace Frehley. I mean, God forbid anybody call him a master guitar technician.
No,
But-
no.
He has 2 or 3 licks. He has 2 or 3 licks.
That fucking
That just there's
And I
nothing
hate
better.
Kiss, sorry, but I'm not
No,
a Kiss
but
guy.
there's nothing that will work better than that. You get Jeff Beck and play the solo in a Kiss song, and chances are Ace Frehley nailed it better
Yeah, of course.
because he just has that.
I'll
fucking
agree
feel.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah, he had that vibe.
I'll agree with that.
Same with New York Dolls. Put fucking Jeff Beck in the New York Dolls.
No.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And the New York Dolls were awesome.
Hey guys,
so funny.
I've
so funny.
got one last question because it's getting late and I gotta hit the hay.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm tired. I gotta get to work tomorrow. So here's the last question for Jake.
Last question. It better be a good one.
I think this is a good one.
We might have to have him back because we got more questions.
Jake is always welcome back. Being that the US Festival was your first gig with Ozzy, well, no, obviously
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't the first big gig. They're saying. What was it like preparing and delivering to 500,000 people that day? And that's from Caleb Rappaport.
How about this? How about I fucking twist that more?
Twist it more.
How about when you forgot the fucking song?
Oh, I did.
And that wasn't at Ozfest.
Over the mountains.
No, it was at the US.
It was at Ozfest.
Yeah.
At the US Fest.
So, over the mountain, right?
Yes.
So how about you talk about that for a minute? I think that's a more fun story.
Well, yeah, the whole preparing for it, there was no preparing for it because there really wasn't anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Other than what, Woodstock?
Yeah, right.
Before the
That was
Festival,
it, right?
There was
Totally.
Woodstock, which was 13, 14 years before that. There was no preparing for something that huge. I do remember going out because there's no sound check. You know, here's where you play. It's after this band, and I wanted to make sure my gear was working. And I went out on stage, and that's when it first hit me, where because it was during the day, you could see everything, and all I saw was people's heads going off way into the distance, and not seeing people's heads ending. Where holy fuck, that's a lot of people. And then checking my gear and doing the first couple of chunks, and how godly that was, because it was going through the PA, which would go into all those people's heads, and like, holy shit, this is massive. Look at all those people, and then turning around, realizing we're going to play a song, and Tommy Aldridge starting Over the Mountain. And for some reason, because I don't panic, I don't get worried, but for some reason I had no idea how Over the Mountain started. I was like, shit, I know that's the drum intro. I have no idea what I'm supposed to play after it.
Wow.
And turning to my tech, Spike, who, thank God, had the presence of mind, I just said, how does it start? And he went, bum, bum, bum. And I said, yes.
At the Jazz Festival, I don't know how this fucking song starts.
I would have hit like
Oh my
all
God.
open strings and then let it rain.
Holy
until
shit!
I figure out what was going on.
That would have been incredible.
That could have been the end of Jake and Lee's career.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was fucking bad.
Your
Bam.
tech saved you. Your tech saved you.
Thank you, Spike.
That's amazing. So, Jake, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Say what?
I know Spike.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be the
Mike
same
from
Spike.
Pleasanton.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
No, I just want to thank you for
Are
coming
we
on the
done?
show. Yeah, I got to go to
Go
bed,
ahead.
Dave. It's 1 in the
I
morning.
know, sleepy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you.
1 in the
Sorry.
morning. 1 in the morning is just.
I'm
when
not
we get
saying shit.
started.
I'm sorry.
Look,
Um,
it's not even 10 over here, and we killed this.
We killed the whole bottle.
you guys did awesome. And Jake, it's just awesome to have you on the
Hey,
show. Awesome
if
to have you on the show.
anyone didn't get their answers,
Send
well,
the questions
we're
over.
gonna do it again.
Well, Jake will come on again.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. It'll be
And I
fun.
have no problem doing that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming
And
on.
I want some difficult questions.
Yeah,
want-
we could get
I want
some
some
more difficult.
trolls. I want some
I didn't
trolls.
even get
going,
into it.
Who the fuck you think you are?
Well, there was one question. There was one question.
Oh!
There was one
Oh, yeah,
question
what?
that totally had me. I had it sticking there for a while. I'm like, I can't ask this. And then
Oh, do it.
Come on, do it.
okay, this is really going to be our last question. Did you
All right.
did you ever see Tommy Aldridge's schlong?
How about this? How about this? Did you ever see Tommy Lee's schlong?
I saw it on video.
Oh shit!
Just like
In,
everybody else.
in what's her name's mouth.
You know what? Here's the thing that I didn't ask is so the
No.
Okay.
no so the you know the shit, I can't even remember what the name is. So the Motley Crue
The Dirt.
movie is out. Dirt.
Yeah.
And Jake was on this tour.
Yeah.
And
Did we do
so
this?
You asked this
honestly
question.
fucking started some
Yeah.
You asked this
Well.
question, Dave.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this before we were on air though?
No.
Oh, shit.
Obviously, I can.
Never
have
mind.
mine.
Sorry. Bye. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, guys. Jake, you were a fucking rock star. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I
All
appre-
right, cool.
Thanks.
It was fun.
Yeah,
I
thank
want
you.
some more difficult questions. Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
I
Blah,
drank
blah,
half
blah,
that
blah,
bottle.
blah. Dalwhinnie, you drank most of it.
All right, boys.
Okay, bye.
Have a great night. I'll talk to you. Good.
Thanks. Bye.
We'll be back Friday.
Okay, for Richie Faulkner.
Ooh.
All right, cool. Bye.
Bye, guys.